birth. Family but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal brother and the golden voice of the South. They're brothers from different mothers, but they're both really proud to be unrelated at birth.
And we're live.
Hi.
Hi. I like the transition. You've gotten that transition down very well, Adam.
I've had 83 episodes to practice. I might as well at some point be good at it, right?
That was fluid. That was fluid.
I know, right?
Thank you,
hey,
thank you.
Who's this below you? Who's this below me?
Who's that below us?
Actually, so...
Wait, which way do I look? This way. There we go.
Yeah, you look down.
It's the story of a lovely lady.
Oh, wait. There's nobody on that side. Okay, anyway. So, for those that don't know, below me and Adam is our former co-host of Sideline Warning. Sideline Warning was our original podcast.
It was.
It was a sports podcast all about... We started just Alabama sports, but I guess we went all around the Southeast afterwards when we got bored being in one little box, right?
Podcasting with you guys is sort of like the Blob. It just keeps expanding and just pulling more things into its orbit.
Gelatinous cube.
Hence why we had to go to Unrelated at Birth, where we just talk about everything, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
That intro music is something else. I love that. The little hoedown at the end. I love that.
Thank you.
Heck yeah,
Thank
man.
you. That was made by Dylan Spears. He is a friend of mine, worked up in Nashville with Logan Seculo and his group. And he is
Nashville really came through.
It did. What was funny is he talked with Adam and I for 30 minutes, Adam?
Yeah.
And said, all right, I got what we need. And made that song after just talking with us for 30 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Dylan Spears and Britney Spears,
No relation.
they're unrelated at birth.
You know,
Technically speaking, yes.
technically, yes. That's
You are on point. I love it.
I just love people whose names are sentences. What does Dylan do? Dylan Spears.
Wow. Hollywood Ben Foster, everybody. Hollywood Ben Foster.
Look at that.
I'm back.
If you don't know, he is like Dwight. Anyway, so what are we here?
Shoots, yeah, I am.
Oh gosh. The dad jokes are for me only, Ben. That's my thing.
Hey, let it. Hey, come on, man. He's our guest. Let him play along.
I gotta do my thing.
Yeah.
He might be our guest, but technically, I mean, he's always been in the background of this show. I mean,
you guys did put me below you on the screen, so that really says.
There you go.
There we go. I'm moving up in the world.
There. I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Well, Adam, you may be on the bottom, but I'll never look down on you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Ben. This is actually where Dave's supposed to be, right here. So,
there we go. Okay, this is much better.
Now we've got.
All right.
My OCD is kicking in here, guys. Okay.
We can tell, man. It's. Jeez.
All right. What are we here to talk about tonight, gentlemen?
Alabama basketball.
That's actually worth talking about for once.
That's
it's too bad we don't still have the podcast.
That's it.
Dave's out because he's
Sound the foghorn.
He is a football-only Gump.
What in the? I say, what in the?
If anyone had 5 minutes 5 minutes for Ben Foster to mention Alabama football or basketball. You lost because you were way over.
I mean, we made it pretty far. That's
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. So what are we here to talk about, gentlemen?
We're doing our second of our March Madness brackets, and this time it's sports jerseys,
Yes.
which there's some very interesting choices.
So not just
That are
sports
seated.
jerseys. I put in there alternate or throwback jerseys because
Okay.
we can talk jerseys that are being worn today ad nauseum. I mean, there's not really that many that stand out. But the throwbacks and the alternates are what really make it worth talking about, I think.
I think so too. That's why we're doing it.
That is exactly why we're doing it.
I've been looking through the unrelated files or the unrelated at birth files, and you guys have pulled some great photos for this. This is going to be fun.
I am actually very pleased with the photo library that we pulled for these.
Adam must have been behind that.
Believe it or not, no.
Actually, that would be yours truly. I
Well, how about
spent
that?
Just
I spent a Sunday afternoon working on all this.
I
That's a
just
good-
create
that's
the
a good
graphics, do the intro video, make the PowerPoint presentation, update the bracket middle of the show. Dave Googles the pictures.
I make the bracket.
That is true. Okay.
Okay, there you
make
go.
the bracket. There you go.
I talk.
That is also true.
That you do.
Hey, Adam, are we going to get Ben to edit this tonight since that was his?
Absolutely not.
Now, you know what? That should have been a condition. That would be awesome, actually. Ben, I will
miles
Google
to go
drop.
before I sleep. Miles to go before I sleep.
Yeah, Ben, we'll Google drop all this to you. It'll be
Yep.
in your Dropbox.
How about no?
That was the shortest show we ever had Ben on right there. He's like, and I'm out.
And I'm gone. All right, guys.
You guys really know how to make a guest feel welcome.
Hey, I just wanted you to feel like old times.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, Adam's dad says, "Hello, Ben."
Hey, Virgil.
And Carrie is here. He says ear holes. He gets to talking to ear holes tonight.
Exciting.
There we go.
And my
Oh,
son
and-
does miss you. He doesn't have anybody to ask anymore if he wants to smell his breath. So
I would.
he does miss you.
If we weren't in a global pandemic and we were in the same place, I would happily smell your son's breath.
Wow.
Did that come out okay? Yeah, that came out all right.
No.
It's okay because there's a story behind that, and I appreciate the sentiment.
Now cinnamon. Who has cinnamon?
Sentiment. Outside of
After-
context, though, that would have been weird.
After the gum he had, it was cinnamon
So,
flavored.
so,
Yeah, that's
so
right.
can we tell the story now? I mean, you've told that there's a story behind it, so we have to know the story.
Yeah, we told it on Sideline Warning. I don't think we ever told this crowd. So it was when we did the Camping World kickoff, wasn't it? Ben?
Alabama
Yeah.
versus Louisville.
And I had a parking pass, and so I gave you, and who was with you? I have a horrible memory with people.
My buddy Jason.
That's right. And I gave y'all a ride with Aiden to the stadium because I was going to the game with Aiden, and you guys were in the back seat, and Aiden turns and looks at you and says, "Would you like to smell my breath?" Because he was chewing a piece of gum. And Ben was like, "No, I appreciate the offer, buddy, but I'm good, thank you."
Thanks.
It's a very polite way to let him down gently, you know.
That's how
It's hilarious
Ben
though.
is.
Hilarious though.
I'm all about giving back to the youth.
See,
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Russell says like your photo wall.
Oh, thank you. This is the music room, so to speak. We got the concert posters. We got the vinyl. We got the record player. We're trying to keep it organized.
nice.
For a long while, Ben was very big in the Birmingham music scene. There's not much of a Birmingham music scene right now because of COVID.
No, we've still got a ton of talented musicians. We're just not having as many live shows. But Birmingham's also doing a great job of figuring out outdoor venues and the way to space things safely. So live music's making a comeback. It's about to be fired up and ready to go. So
Has Rainbow Kitten Surprise put out anything worth listening to lately?
no, they're due. So hopefully we will have some more RKS in the near future.
Fingers crossed.
Well, there was another band that I can't remember the name of it that we just went on and on about too. Yeah, it'll come to me later.
I don't remember.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So
For
let's
some
go
reason,
ahead-
that one stood out.
That's
because Rainbow Kitten Surprise. That's it.
they got some catchy tunes.
or a catchy name.
Both.
So, anyway, all right. So we're going to go into our recording studio, and we will. Oh my gosh! Somebody actually knows Rainbow Kitten Surprise.
See,
Bringing people together.
The people have spoken. Thank you, Carrie.
Says he's seen them multiple times. Okay. Anyway, all right. So we're going to go in and start recording, and we will do. We don't have a Kahoot tonight for everybody listening live. Just when we throw the matchup out there, if you want to put who you think would be the winner in the chat to the side or below us. Unfortunately, Kahoot wanted to charge us $90. Not worth it.
Yeah, the free trial was over.
So you're no longer in cahoots with them.
That is accurate.
Yes. Once again, I'm the guy that does the dad jokes. My job.
There's enough to go around.
Okay. All right. All right. Recording in 3, 2, 1. And welcome everybody back into another exciting Unrelated at Birth. As always, you've got the one, the only, the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox, Dave Adams, coming to you live and in living color from the top of the state of Alabama. That's right, in Madison, Alabama, in the Unrelated at Birth podcast studio. And as always, I have brought along my friend from St. Cloud, the one, the only, the phenomenal brother, Adam Joseph Russell.
Just one location this time?
I mean,
are you shortening it because we have a guest and we have to accommodate that?
I am shortening it because we have a guest and we have to.
I'll allow it just because you made it through the intro in one take. Does that sound good?
I was impressed that we made it through the intro in just
good.
one take.
It's a first time for everything, you know?
That's right.
See, what's funny is that voice you just heard wasn't even here 2 weeks ago to hear me do, like, what was it, Adam? 5 takes for the intro?
What's actually, yes, that is accurate. What's actually funny is Ben came in without being introduced because he knows that you don't like for people to come in without being introduced. That's actually what's
I
funny.
know what he was doing. I was just not.
On the nose, Adam. On the nose.
And for those of you in podcast land, go back and watch the video at about the 12:30 timestamp. Dave pauses for a second with that. Really? Kind of look. So it's worth viewing.
And by the way, Gary says, wait, did I say Adam's middle name? Yes, I did. I just said it fast. You might not have heard me. But for people that don't know, that voice you just heard is all the way from the city of Birmingham, the Magic City. For the first time on Unrelated at Birth, but on many podcasts in the past with Adam and I on Sideline Warning, the one, the only, Hollywood Ben Foster. Yay. Welcome back, Ben.
Good to be here, guys.
Why has it taken so long to get you on the podcast network that you started, that you were part of the ground floor of?
I've been here literally the whole time. Where were you guys?
Wait, what?
Oof.
What?
Oof.
I've been literally here inside this box right here where I've been waiting for you guys. Where were y'all?
Adam.
Oh, you're the guest scheduler, homie. Don't add him this one.
Apparently, yeah, that was my fault. But Adam,
I'm going to ask a question I've asked a million times. Who's in charge here?
We have no idea.
I don't know.
Episode 83, and we have no idea.
Yeah, but Adam, you goofed up, man.
What?
If Ben's here, that means you played the wrong intro.
Oh, my bad.
It's got to be this one.
My bad.
Ooh, this sounds familiar.
Just wait. You'll hear another voice.
Oh, the extended version. This is awesome.
I mean, you played the extended Unrelated Birth version, so...
This may take a sec. But the tension's building.
This is Sideline Warning, the show where sports takes are sure to go way too far into the field. Here to recap this week's biggest and best sports stories are your hosts, Dave Adams, Ben Foster, and Adam Russell.
Yeah, man.
Hey, that's us.
And welcome everybody back into Sideline Warning. No, wait, sorry, can't do it anymore.
You've been warned.
I have to say, you have been pretty consistent with the intro, Dave.
Well, I really have. I was a little shocked.
Yeah, top of the state of Alabama, top of your game. Yeah,
I've always been there.
the whole thing.
Jeffrey Martin wants to know, is Ben the reason his face mask got stuck in Birmingham for 4 days?
Maybe.
Well, Ben?
Maybe.
He ordered some of those the Shima 97 masks.
Oh, the mesh masks?
They're not mesh. Saban wears them.
Sorry,
and it works
subject.
for Saban.
I tried to order some fancy N95s the other day, and they took my money, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, psych, we'll send your money back. We don't have any."
Whoops.
Oh.
So
Well, okay then.
I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm thoroughly on Team Bandana because I get to pretend I'm a cowboy.
A cowboy, baby.
I found the 47 brand masks. I sent you that link, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Those actually, I wore it today for the first time after I washed it. It is the most comfortable mask, and it fits my tend to be oversized face.
They make my
Carry-
favorite caps.
Yeah, me too. 47
I'm a
cleanup, baby.
I'm a new era guy, so.
It's all good.
Gary, after Saban jumped off the bridge, would you?
Well,
Maybe.
maybe.
No, I'm kidding.
If Saban jumped off of a bridge with a mesh parachute, Dave would, though.
No.
The obvious question is which bridge and how high?
Yeah, exactly. And the question is for Ben: if Nate Oates jumped off of a bridge, would he jump?
Hey, look, the thing about Nate Oates is he's going to do the analytics, and the analytics are going to say you don't jump off the bridge.
There you
so
go.
this is not one I have to worry about. Jumping off a bridge is like the mid-range 2. You just don't bother with it. You give me layups, which is like easing in through the shallow end, or give me 3-pointers, which is like a big splash, like going off the diving board. Mid-range 2, that's jumping off a bridge, and we don't do that.
I was going to say, if it involved shooting a free throw and making it, then it probably would be something he didn't do as well. But
70% of the time.
Alabama is 70. Look, when any other coach that I've watched Bama basketball, we were like 50%. So I'm happy with 70% right now.
okay, all right.
Adam, some would call it an upward trajectory.
Oh, they would they not?
Oh!
They would.
They would.
In fact,
That is our first upward trajectory of the night.
I love it.
So,
Folks.
so I know we're this is the part where we banter and we talk, but tonight is about sports and fashion and athletics aesthetics, right?
Athletics aesthetics. That's the name of tonight's episode. You just named it.
That's a phrase. That's a phrase I stole from Paul Lucas, who's one of my absolute favorite uniform writers. He runs the Uni Watch blog. I think I've told you guys about it before. So I love Paul Lucas. But if we're going to talk about sports and design, look at this shirt right here.
What does that say?
That says Men's Regular Season Basketball Champs 2021. That's this year, fellas. That's this year. Look at this. Look at this. Did you ever think you'd be looking at this?
No.
I will say
That's a loaded question. I won't go back to that.
the very last sideline warning that you did, Ben, was the episode where we hired Nate Oates. Nate Oates, wasn't it?
Did I suggest, what did I suggest in that episode?
That we were on an upward trajectory. And what did Adam suggest?
I suggested that we should have gone after the dude who was in trouble in a million different ways. So yeah, we can leave that topic alone. That did not age well. Yeah.
No, it did
I'll
not.
admit it.
Can we submit that one to cold takes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we need to. Freezing cold takes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So why are we here?
That's what I'm always asking myself whenever I'm with you.
What month is this, gentlemen?
This is March, Dave.
This is March.
And we do. Last week we did a bracket challenge. Ben missed our ride bracket challenge. I know that was his.
You didn't want to go through that
his
again?
favorite episode of Sideline Warning.
Your what? Your what? Oh, your Disney ride?
Yeah.
Yes.
For a second there, I thought you said a rye bracket challenge, and it was all about liquor. And
No, ride.
No.
I was like,
Ride.
I was like, how much rye is there?
We found it. You'll be happy to know, though, Ben. We found a way to fit it into one episode and only one podcast instead of having to spread it into two
month.
on two podcasts.
Yeah, well, we only did 32 instead of 64, which was done on the old I Am Geek and Sideline Warning
Yep.
episode.
Oh, thank mercy.
Adam talked me down from doing 64 on this episode too.
Yeah.
So you can be thankful for that.
We've got a whole nother 32 for the after show, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know how this works. I know how
Yeah.
this works.
We are here to talk about the Jersey bracket.
The New, like New Jersey?
An entire bracket dedicated to Jersey cows.
Yes, that's it. So we got 8 Major League, 8 NCAA football, 8 NFL, and 8 NBA. And these are all throwback or alternate jerseys. So when you think throwback or alternate jerseys, what's the first thing that comes to your mind, gentlemen?
The shirt I'm wearing right now.
The one I'm wearing right now as well, my Hank Aaron Braves jersey. You are wearing the, is that the Friday red?
I think it was Sunday red, wasn't it?
I think it was Friday
I think
red.
it was Sunday.
At different times, there's been a Friday red and a Sunday red for the Braves. It's depended on the season.
That's true.
I think this was when they were wearing it on Sunday is when I got it. But the weekend red, how about that?
Okay.
That's a Jason Hayward red is what that is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Jeffrey Martin, in a year like 2020 and 21, isn't being the regular season champs kind of like winning a horse race when the other jockeys are riding a zebra, a giraffe, and an ostrich?
Go ahead.
Yeah, not in college basketball. Winning the regular season is pretty significant. So I would say Alabama winning the regular season championship is very much like riding an ostrich. Welcome to the giraffe rodeo right here. That's what we're at. We are playing with house money, and so yeah, I would say that's not just a horse race, especially since we're recording this before the postseason has really gotten going. The SEC tournament's starting up later this week.
Yeah.
Starting up tomorrow, actually. So yeah. All right. So Adam, what is the first round of the bracket?
Let me pull up so everyone watching on Facebook can see. The MLB bracket is first.
Okay.
Would you like to run through the seeds, Dave?
I will. So at the number 1 seed is the jersey I'm wearing right now, the 1974 Atlanta Braves Road. This is the jersey that Hank Aaron hit 715 in against the 8 seed, the 1972 Oakland A's Yellow. This is Raleigh.
He was wearing the road jersey in Atlanta.
No, he was not. But the road jersey is the one that they brought back for the alts.
Okay.
Okay. The Oakland A's Yellow is Raleigh Fingers, or Reggie Jackson, I believe, was wearing that jersey as well. Adam, do you have those pictures where we can put them up?
I do when we talk through it, yeah.
Okay. The number 4 seed is the 1956 Mr. Reds Mr. Red vest jersey. That was really one of the first vest baseball jerseys to be worn. The 5 seed was the 77 Mariners Trident jersey of King Griffey Sr. The 3 seed is the 77 to 84 Pirates Yellow with the pillbox hat. Think Roberto Clemente when you think of those jerseys. The 6 seed is the 01 to 06 Arizona Diamondbacks home teal and white vest looking jersey that they won the 01 World Series with. The number 2 seed is the 82 to 93 Astros home. Think Nolan Ryan home jersey. And the number 7 seed, which I was told I seeded this way too low, is the 76 to 84 St. Louis Cardinal powder blue. Think Ozzie Smith.
Yes.
So, gentlemen, do we want to start with the 1 seed, or do we want to start?
We're going to start in the order that I made the presentation.
All right. Well, Adam,
that's a bold strategy, Adam.
All right.
All right, so this is actually going to be the 1 versus the 8. So this is the Atlanta Braves road jersey. Anybody watching on Facebook, that's on the left, and then the Oakland A's yellow on the right.
All right. So I think everybody knows where my vote is going, and it's not just because the Braves are my team. I actually grew up liking the A's as well because the Huntsville Stars were the A's minor league team for the longest time when I was in.
No way, Jose.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. Jose Canseco. This is closer than you would think, but I have to give it to Hank Aaron and the Atlanta Braves.
Ben, how about you?
Obviously I have a Braves bias. The Oakland A. This is a terrible matchup. Why were the A's seeded like this? This should be an Elite Eight matchup. This should be
because there's better jerseys out there.
No, anything green and gold is quality, but the A's, especially with green and gold, that's pretty primo. This really should be an Elite Eight matchup. This is. I'm going with the Braves, but the A's have gotten robbed by the seeding. The committee has robbed them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've got to go with the Braves too. I have something to say about which alternate Braves jersey is my all-time favorite later, but the feather detail on the arm and the lowercase a still to this day endure in little ways throughout some of the best throwback stuff and merchandise especially that's out there. So I'm going to go with the Braves as well.
Yeah. And by the way, Carrie says, the Cardinals are way too low. It would not have made it would have made the semis against Houston in his bracket had it been the correct seed and not pitted against them in the first round.
Carrie, you should be in charge of this show.
Don't say that.
Ouch.
Did I go there?
Wow.
Carrie is bringing the correct take, and it runs parallel to this Braves A's matchup. These are absurd for the first round. You're taking half of the good stuff off, like literally in the first 2 minutes of the bracket. Okay.
Fine. All right. What's the next one?
All right, on to the next. Round 2 is the Cincinnati Reds Mr. Red vest jersey versus the Seattle Mariners Trident M jersey.
Ben, what you got first?
It's so hard to think of a trident without thinking of Brick Tamland. The Mariners logo is pretty brilliant, but I just love the red stuff. I wish we didn't have this particular picture with where everybody thought it was cool to go totally sleeveless. That's a little too much skin for me. But I got to go with the Reds here. Cincinnati, one of the earliest franchises. They've always been classic, but having your mustachioed Mr. Redlegs doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah,
Agreed,
I got to go with that one. Yeah, I got to go with that one too. I think that that I like the vest jersey with sleeves. I'm with you on that one too, Ben. But I think overall I like the look of that one. The Mariners one to me just looks dated, just looks old. So I'm going to go with the Reds on this one.
How can you not like the vest look without the sleeves, though? I mean, that was the look in the 90s. And that's when they did that throwback. So I've got to go with Mr. Red as well. This is the second sweep we have, guys.
All right.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
All right, round 3. Maybe this will be a little bit tougher. The Pittsburgh Pirates yellow versus the D-backs home jersey from 2001 to 2006.
Adam, let you go first on this one.
One of my favorite baseball jerseys of all time because of the hat is the Pirates with that pillbox hat with the stripes around it. So I'm going to go with the Pirates yellow on this one. To me, again, the Arizona Diamondbacks jerseys there look just like, hey, we're an expansion team in the 90s, early 2000s. That's just what that looks like to me. Doesn't hold up the way. But that Pittsburgh Pirates yellow looks like old-time baseball.
It does, but to me, the iconic image of Luis Gonzalez hitting that home run in 2001, when really the whole world was rooting for the Yankees, puts that jersey up there in the Jersey Hall of Fame to me. I'm going with Arizona on this one.
Okay.
Ben, you're the deciding vote.
What's so good about both of these is the teams have brought them back this decade. Like in the past 3 or 4 years, both teams have worn these again because they're so good. I just can't get behind purple and teal when it's up against something as iconic. Dave, I'm completely with you on September the 11th and responding to that and how baseball helped kind of revive the country in 2001. Absolutely iconic, but I've got to go with the Pirates. That pillbox hat, I mean, it's phenomenal.
It is. It's iconic. It really is. So there's not a wrong vote here, I think.
Sure.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
All right, so Pirates take it.
Cool. Round 4, you got the Houston Astros with the orange and yellow stripes and St. Louis Cardinals with the powder blue jersey and pants.
Ben, what you got?
This is brutal. We should be doing just a baseball bracket because I am a sucker for powdered blue. Any team that wants to sport some powdered blue. The Braves have got great powder blues. I'm thinking about the Phillies with some great powder blues. Obviously Kansas City, but I mean the Cardinals, the way their logo just pops, that's amazing. But the Astros, they're so good that they're bad. They wore them into the 90s when they should have never worn them out of the 80s. They probably should have never worn them at all. They're so bad, they're good. I got to go with the Astros.
Okay. Adam, what you got? Because I want to hear where you lie on this.
Yeah, I'm going St. Louis Cardinals with the powder blue, and it's partly because I'm voting for that because I like that jersey for the Cards, but also that's my proxy vote for the Atlanta powder blues that they wore when Dale Murphy, early 80s, that era. So I'm going with the Cardinals just for a generic vote for powder blue overall, mostly the Braves. So Dave.
So I'm the deciding vote here, and I'm torn because I love both of these jerseys. And Ben hit the nail on the head when he said they're so good or so bad they're good. Those Astros jerseys are so iconic, and to me, even though Nolan Ryan only wore the Astros jerseys for a couple of years, it made that jersey iconic to me. I grew up disliking the Cardinals because I was a Braves fan. I'm voting Astros here, but if these were seated any differently, the Cardinals would have had my vote. But I've got to go Astros with this one.
Okie dokie.
So Astros move on. So this
I agree.
next
It is hard to vote against those Astros jerseys just because you can just see him wearing it. You can see Nolan Ryan pitching in it. It is tough.
Adam's backtracking already.
Yeah. Jeffrey Martin, who's a Cardinals fan. That's it. I'm done. See you in a couple of weeks.
Look, here's the deal.
Hey, I tried, Jeffrey. I tried, man.
Here's the deal. The Cardinals are great with the powder blues, but they're not even the best powder blues in baseball. So,
who's the best powder blue in baseball?
It's not the Cardinals. It's a really great powder blue, but I mean, I could make an argument for the Braves. I gotta say, as much as I hate the Phillies, the way that that kind of deep red that the Phillies had on their powder blues, the way that pops, I love it.
Yeah,
I gotta agree with you. I almost put the Phillies up here, just because that is a great jersey as well.
What if? But I like giving the Phillies credit without ever having to vote in favor of them. That's really the ideal scenario.
Well, there you go. Set up for success.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like that. All right, Adam. Are we going to do the second round of baseball first?
Yeah, we're gonna finish each one before we're done. So this one's gonna be the Braves
and the Reds
versus the Reds.
And that's funny. The Reds have to go in the blue square.
Oh, dudes.
You could have put the Braves in the blue square because the Braves are the red jersey, but because of seating, we
shaking it up, man.
Yeah, I know. All right, so Braves.
It's good contrast.
Yeah, 74 Braves versus the 56 Mr. Red vest. Adam, what do you got?
I just like you guys were talking about earlier. I've got a bias towards the Braves, pretty heavily, but I really like the vest look. So this one's a hard one. I think overall, though, the lowercase a is going to carry it for me, and I'm going to go with the Braves.
Yeah, it's not the lowercase a that carries it for me. It's the feather.
Okay.
And I like the feather on the sleeve. I really wish the Braves would keep that in the current era. I've got to go Braves as well.
Guys, I feel a song coming on.
Uh-oh.
See my vest, put the magic to the test. I'm singing that not because I'm voting for Cincinnati. I'm saying it because they're not moving on. It's a vote for the Braves.
There we go.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
I won't have another chance to sing it. They're donezo.
Bye-bye.
So, yeah. All right. Bye. Jeffrey
Thank
Martin
you for that. Thank you for that, Ben. Thank you.
As long as it's not Dave singing, he's okay with Ben singing.
You're welcome.
What can I say
except
you're welcome? Truly, Carrie says, truly the number placement of those Braves unis make them great to me.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. It's in the best place. All right. So the next round is
It's
going to
gonna
be the Pirates 77 pillbox hat versus the Astros spaceman uniform.
so 2 classic retro
Yep.
jerseys.
I'll start here. The Astros are so bad, they're great. But those Pirates unis with the pillbox hat, I've got to go Pirates here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's the hat that makes it for me again. Lowercase a with the Braves. This time it's the pillbox for the Pirates. Ben Foster?
It's already 2 votes for the Pirates. I'm a little dumbfounded. I mean, I love the hat, but I thought this was a jersey bracket.
It's a uniform bracket.
I thought it says baseball jerseys, and at the top it says jersey bracket. I didn't realize this was a hat bracket. That's a whole different thing. Look, I gotta go Astros here. What does a pirate have on his shoulder?
A bird.
A parrot. And
Right.
what is a bird that would like totally dominate a parrot in a bird fight? An eagle. And what did the eagle sing? Just another tequila sunrise. So I'm going with the tequila sunrise Astros jerseys right there. Was that a bit of a stretch?
We took the long way around on that one.
People want me to sing, so I'm going to work in as many songs as I can. And it's just another tequila sunrise. Okay, that's all I got.
Can it be a bourbon sunrise?
I mean, I'm a little shocked by the hate of the Astros, but
Oh, it's not
guess-
the hate. It's just
I
think
I was planning to vote the Astros over the Braves in a little bit. This changes things. But I guess we can make like some Astros and can it.
All right, Pirates it is. All right,
All
so
right.
finals. The finals then are going to be the Braves and the Pirates.
so.
Just like when Sid was safe.
Just like in 1993 and 1991 and 93, the Braves are playing the Pirates. Adam, who you got?
I mean, at this point, you might as well go all Homer, right? And we've talked about the A, we talked about the feather, number placement, whatever the justification is. I'm going to go with the Braves. I'm just going
All
to
right.
go Homer all the way.
Ben?
Hey, look, you guys wanted to bring hats into this scenario, and the pillbox hat, there's just nothing else like it. But if we're talking about paneled caps, the Braves paneled cap with the white panel in front and the royal blue all around, that's a pretty good looking hat. That's a sharp balance. And the way that balances with the white sleeves on the blue jersey, that's a good design. I got to go Braves.
All right.
So my vote doesn't count. But Carrie said that's why Dave voted Pittsburgh, so he didn't have to vote against Atlanta. Guys, I was voting Pittsburgh here. I think that Pittsburgh jersey is more iconic. That Pittsburgh uniform is more iconic than the Braves. But, like I said, my vote doesn't matter because the Braves move on.
Hey, can we just point out that the finals here are both pullover jerseys?
That's right.
That is very true.
And that's
Good
in
point.
2021. That's what Major League Baseball needs is more pullover jerseys.
Well, what
Hear, hear.
Major League Baseball needs is for Nike to get out of the game and Majestic to come back.
Agree.
The world was never wrong and horrible until Major League Baseball sold out to Nike.
It's true.
I never thought I'd hear you say that, Dave.
Look, I am a Nike snob, and everyone knows that. But I'm also a baseball purist. And baseball purity means Majestic jerseys. So,
You tell them.
all right.
There we go.
All right. So let's bring back. Sorry. So we're going to the NCAA now.
We will go to the NCAA bracket.
All right, and there you go.
All right. So the number one seed. All right, here you go. Jeffrey Martin asks, how many jerseys in the bracket were button down? The Arizona home, the powder blue,
The vest
Mariners, the Mariners trident, and the Reds vest.
I
Yeah,
think those Cardinals powder blues were pullovers.
They were.
Were they? Okay. So just three, I think. I'm looking at.
The D-backs, the Mariners, and the Reds.
The A's were pullover.
Yeah, so just three. So, And Jeffrey says the bracket was rigged. I mean, 2 of the commentators were wearing Braves jerseys. Did we not see this going any other way? I mean,
If it hadn't have been the 74 with the feather in the lowercase a, we might have a different conversation. But
those are iconic jerseys.
That's right.
All right. So in the NCAA bracket, we have the number 1 seed being the Army 2019 uniforms from the Army-Navy game. The number 8 seed is the 2019 UCF Space uniform. The number 4 seed is the 2017 Penn State Alt jerseys. The number 5 seed is the 2013 Notre Dame Shamrock Series. The number 3 is the Air Force Air Power jerseys from 2016. The number 6 seed is the 2016 Oregon jerseys. And it's not one of their crazy uniforms. It's the duck look. The number 2 seed is the 2014 Navy uniform from the Ohio State Navy game. And the number 7 seed is the 2012 Oklahoma State all black jerseys.
Did you really say that duck look is not a crazy jersey?
It's not one of their weird Nike combinations.
Okay.
This is gonna be where there's a lot of divergence. I think we're of the same mind about a lot of baseball things, but I don't think we agree on college football.
I can pretty much guarantee you that's the case there.
This is going to be contentious.
Ooh, it's never been contentious with us, gentlemen.
Well, let's see how contentious it is then.
All right. So, Adam.
All right, here we go. So, round 1. 2019 Army versus 2019 College Who Shall Not Be Named Space jerseys.
So, Carrie says UCF should wipe Army off right away. I will start, and I strongly disagree. Look at that Army jersey and tell me that doesn't look like one of the cleanest college football uniforms you will ever see. A, it just looks like somebody would truck you all together. B, it looks just like an Army cadet would look. So I've got to go Army with that because that is an amazing look for them.
Yeah, you throw a flat helmet in jerseys, helmets, hats, whatever. But you throw a flat helmet in the mix. I'm a big fan of the flat helmet. So the helmet with the cavalry patch, I'm a big fan of that. I'm not voting for the 2019 UCF Space, not only because if you look at that, you don't really get a lot of space out of that helmet. It looks like kind of the moon, maybe.
It's the moon crater.
But the problem I have with it mostly is when they wore that, Mississippi State made a comment on their Twitter of, hey, way to go, guys. We were doing that so many years ago. And the UCF fandom and some of the folks with the university actually argued with them that, no, we were the first when State did the space jerseys back in like the 60s. And so there was this whole UCF fans can't help going over this meaningless Twitter war stuff over topics they know nothing about. So I'm respecting our men and women in uniform and going with the Army jersey over the little crybaby jersey. So, Ben?
Excellent points, gentlemen. I love the Army uniform. I appreciate the cavalry patch and the helmet design's great. But I got to be honest, I am a little bit of a purist in how I think a football uniform should be balanced, and it drives me bonkers when there's a football jersey that has that kind of yoke like is on the Army jersey. It's really problematic for me. Like if the jersey was all white or if it was all military fatigue color, it would be great. That yoke is really bothering me. I love the constellations. I'm going to go with the space uniforms from UCF.
Okay.
All right. Jeffrey says his dad was 1st Cavalry in Vietnam. Jeffrey,
That's
thank
awesome.
your dad. Yeah, that is awesome. We thank you for that service. And because of your dad.
Tip of the hat to your father.
Yes, sir. Army moves on to the next round.
All right. Round 2 is 2017 Penn State Alabama Copycat versus 2013 Notre Dame Shamrock.
Ben,
Talk
where you
amongst
going,
yourselves.
Well, I got to study this Penn State one. Fortunately, I'm zeroed in on it. The Penn State uniform bothers me. It's an alternate, and to me it just looks like it's not their usual helmet, and that's that's what is that what makes it an alternate?
Yeah, it's
The-
because
the-
they don't have the numbers normally.
The number, you got this number font on there that's just kind of clunking up what's normally a clean design where less is more. It just looks more like a high school with like a less budget than Penn State put together some uniforms. It's March. We got the luck of the Irish. I'm going to go with Notre Dame here.
All right, Dave, what do you think?
You know, you put it best when you said it's the Alabama knockoffs. If you made those jerseys crimson and white, and that a crimson helmet with a white number, that is the Alabama jersey. Penn State is known, just like Alabama is, for its traditional clean-looking jerseys. This looks a little weird to me. So I've got to go Notre Dame. I'm not a fan of Notre Dame. I'm really not a fan of that bright gold glittery helmet. It's just too flashy to me. But Penn State just doesn't look right. And so
But
I got
there's-
to go with Notre Dame.
Yeah, there's no doubt Notre Dame's doing an alternate. With Penn State, it looks like something just went wrong.
They
Right.
ordered the wrong helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
exactly.
agree on Notre Dame. And one of the things I like about it is the shiny gold throughout. I think it's a nice touch. I'm not afraid of that flash. But putting this presentation together and seeing the pictures up close, those helmets are matte gold, except for the inside of the shamrock. The inside of the shamrock is shiny gold. So there's even a differentiation there on the helmet. So I'm going to go with Notre Dame as well. So
Yeah.
it's unanimous.
I love
Jeffrey-
gold. I love gold. Yes.
Yeah, save myself for myself. Jeffrey Martin says, if anything, Penn State's alternate jersey should have been a true whiteout like they do at Beaver Stadium.
Yeah.
I've heard that's a pretty good idea.
And I can agree with that. And let me just say, and I'll say this right here. When I showed this jersey or this whole bracket, I had 2 or 3 people comment, wow, there's not an Alabama jersey anywhere near here. One, we don't normally do alternate jerseys.
Nope.
And 2, I did that just so people can't claim shenanigans like they did with the Braves jersey.
Exactly.
There's only one jersey that would have counted for this, and it would have been the one that had that weird houndstooth collar.
Which I do own. I do own the Mark Ingram version
Of
of
course
that.
you do. Of course.
But if you would have put it, though, against anything else that's a true alternate, I don't know that we would have voted for it.
I would have voted against it because it
I
really
wasn't crazy
didn't look
about it.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we'd be saying the same thing that we said about Penn State. It
Yeah.
doesn't look like an alternate. It looks like something went wrong.
Yep.
Yeah. And Carrie says the most alternate thing we did was the houndstooth thing. Yeah, that's
Yep.
it. It was just houndstooth in the numbers and an American flag on the sleeve. That was it. So, all right.
All right.
Next matchup, sir.
Round 3 is 2016 Air Force Air Power versus 2016 Oregon Duck Look. Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
Ben, let's start with you, sir.
I'm just angry again because the first round matchups are so ridiculous. Like both of these should be going on.
Agreed.
The Air Force helmet is by far the best helmet in this bracket as far as the football helmets go, but it's a jersey bracket, isn't it? I like the Ducks. I like how the whole uniform comes together. And when does a team look like their thing? The only other time this has been done is when Florida tried those Gator uniforms that looked like gator skin, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
This works. You look and you go, oh, Duck. So I got to go with Oregon here. As much as I would love to support Air Force because that's such a cool helmet, I got to go with the Ducks.
Yeah. I love the P40 helmet. Blair's grandfather used to fly those. And that takes it for me. The rest of it, though, if they had carried that down and had something else, that's what made that Army one so great was the patch. And even though there was that yoke up top, they had their name on a patch on their shoulder or on their chest and stuff like that. If it carried further down instead of just the black and gray, I'd probably go for that too. But the Oregon thing grew on me as I've pulled the presentation together and as we've sat here and talked it. They did a good job copying their mascot down to the yellow numbers and everything and the orange shoes. So I'm going to go with Oregon.
Yeah, is there more of a just together look than that Oregon outfit? The reason I put this picture in there is so you can see how awesome it looks as a team, as a
Yeah.
unit. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a bunch of ducks running around the field.
A flock? Is that what they are?
It's a flock of ducks.
No, what's a group? That's not right. What's a group of ducks?
A group of ducks.
Mighty ducks.
A gander?
A
That's
flying
that's
bee.
geese. That's geese.
It's
Yeah.
a
Somebody use the Google
generic
machine.
term like flock can apply to ducks.
Okay.
But
Okay.
they're usually a group of ducks can be called a raft, a team, or a paddling.
Oh, so it's a team. There
It's
you
a
go.
team. It's a team of
Oh,
ducks.
it fits perfectly.
It is a team of ducks, as everyone's saying in the comments. They fly together. Ducks fly together, and it's fitting that they're up against Air Force in this round.
See, and,
It's
and
ho-
go ahead.
It's hard to vote against our country's military because when it comes to their alternate jerseys, they usually win everything. But I've got to go Oregon here.
Yeah. To Jeffrey's point, it needs a pinup model on it, right? Or something like that. It needs not necessarily that, but it needs something like the script that the script writing they used to put on the side of the planes, or
Right.
like whoever they beat, they should have had like kill stamps on it across their chest or something, something to tie it all together, and then we probably
Yep.
would have had a different result. But okay,
Yep.
right.
Jeffrey says a duck to the jet engine of the plane is going to bring the plane down.
bird strike.
I like what you did there. All right.
All right, the last of the preliminaries, round 4, is 2014 Navy versus 2012 Oklahoma State All Black.
Normally, I would vote All Black Air Day. But, like I said in the last round, our military's uniforms, when they do these alternate uniforms, they are amazing with these football uniforms. That Navy is probably one of the cleanest helmets I have ever seen. I'm going Navy with this one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm usually not a fan of the blackout either. I'm not crazy. The Navy one's not doing it for me. I don't know. Compared to everything else, I don't feel like there's enough going on there. I do like retro logos on helmets, though. And I think that all black with that orange and gray on it kind of pops. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma State, mostly because of the retro logo on the helmet.
What's that guy's name? Pistol Pete? Is that what it is?
Yep.
No, it's not. It's not Pistol Pete. That's a
something.
basketball player.
Yeah.
Peg leg Pete? What?
I'm googling it. What's your vote?
Yeah, let's go ahead and vote.
No, it's Pistol Pete. It is.
It is
Pete.
Pistol Pete. Okay. Well, I was like, maybe we're stealing from LSU. Look, Oklahoma is like a Halloween decoration gone wrong. This is not a good matchup. The fact that we had to choose between Air Force and the Ducks in the first round, and one of these two gets to advance is ridiculous. But I come from a family with a number of Navy people. And that Navy uniform is pretty sharp, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Navy kind of nailed that look with the anchor and the chains before Vandy really got back to incorporating that kind of thing. I think Navy actually kind of inspired Vanderbilt, and if you're a trendsetter like that, that's got to be worth something. So I'm going Navy.
All right, Navy it is.
Navy takes it. Jeffrey Martin says, "Can I vote neither, but Navy, I suppose." And you have to remember, Navy was, he is an Army guy because of his dad. So
Yep.
I understand. All right. So are you just setting everything up for the next?
Yeah, I'm getting it set up real quick. So the first semifinal round for the NCAA bracket is Army versus Notre Dame.
Ben, kick us off, man.
You guys are just making this painful. I'm having to advance things I would never want to advance, and like the yoke on the Army jersey bothers me so much. I'm advancing the Irish as much as I hate to do it. I am voting for Notre Dame twice in this matchup. Gosh,
Oof.
What is wrong with you, sir?
It's sickening. But a football jersey with like a weird yoke on it is just the absolute worst thing.
All right,
It's
Dave.
the cavalry patch for me. Army wins, and I hate Notre Dame. So it's the cavalry patch. Army wins.
Yeah, there is a little part of it that's like, I refuse to let Notre Dame proceed any further. you know. But the flat helmet, the cavalry patch, even the way the pants say United States up the side, just like the helicopter that's behind him, I'm going with Army as well. Yoke or no yoke.
Yoke's on you, Ben Foster. Army wins.
Apparently.
All right, so semifinal 2 is Navy versus the Oregon Duck Look. What do you guys got?
Adam, you start it, man.
I got to go Oregon Duck Look. I still, the Navy thing's not doing it for me. The way they replicated the mascot all the way down to the face masks. I'm going to go with Oregon on this one.
The Army-Navy matchup is so enticing to me. But the Ducks, I mean, like I said before, this is the cleanest overall uniform set that I've seen Oregon wear. This is a tough one, but I am truly going to give this to Navy just because I think that is the biggest trendsetter uniform of all time.
Okay. Tiebreaker, Ben.
Look, I love the Navy uniform. There's a lot to like there, but to me, it's just a little too simple. It's clean, but part of having an alternate uniform is like adding a little spice. And so I have a tremendous amount of respect for Navy and for all of our armed forces. But I got to go with the Ducks. This is a uniform competition. I'm going with the Ducks.
All right. Oregon moves on to face the Braves in the final four.
No. This is now we got Army versus Oregon.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
You jumped the gun.
I did jump the gun. Sorry. I've copied and pasted too much in the bracket just to have it ready. All right, so Army versus Oregon. Let's make Ben go first again.
We know where he's voting.
Wait, who did the Ducks defeat in the first round?
The Ducks defeated Air Force. So this
Air
would
Force.
be they would have the governor the commander-in-chief's trophy if they beat Army.
So they defeated Air Force, they defeated Navy, and now they're up against the Army.
Yes.
But see, like ducks fly, so they fly like the Air Force, but they're pretty good on the water, like the Navy. But do they have the ground game that the Army has?
Is the waddle enough to carry him?
That's a big question. Or maybe we should think of Oregon as an entry for the Coast Guard. How about that?
Good point. Good
Nice.
point.
Nice.
How about that? How about their own? I mean, they're there in Oregon. Oregon has a coast.
Yeah. So
Sure.
so who's your vote, sir?
Classic style uniform incorporated into a bright, vibrant alternate. Got to go Oregon here over ugly yolks.
All right, Dave.
You know, I have sided with the military in almost every bracket here, or every time we voted. But I think since Oregon has made it this far, I've got to go Oregon here. And I know it's a little cliche to put the king of the alternate jerseys winning the college football bracket, but if the shoe fits, wear it. Oregon goes.
So I was right. It was Oregon in the end. Yeah, I was actually going to vote Army. I think that Oregon does it too often, too much, but we're not really talking about a team and what they do every week. We're talking about these jerseys. Again, the flat helmet does it for me. I was going to go with Army, but 2-1
right.
Oregon. So they do advance to meet the Braves in the Final Four then. All right.
They
Quack,
do.
quack, Mr. Dexter.
All right. So we're going to take a little break from the bracket, the tournament bracket. And we had a listener ask, where's hockey in this bracket? Well, none of us are huge hockey guys. I mean, I'm a Preds fan. I don't know if Ben goes to any Birmingham Bulls games. I don't think Adam.
Not in their current incarnation.
Yeah, I don't think Adam's a hockey fan.
I watch the Bolts. I watch it sometimes. Solar
Yeah.
Bears here in town. Yeah.
Well, so it's funny you say that. Buddy of mine, a listener, friend of the show, Carrie Loney, sent us a list of the best hockey minor league jerseys, and I'm pulling it up now. And so the first part you will see will be the top 5 normal just everyday minor league jerseys. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
So, number 5, the Danbury Hat Tricks.
Hockey appropriate.
Hockey appropriate. It's a slam dunk here, he says. Kerry says he's buddies of everyone, not just Dave.
Oh,
Sorry,
there we go.
Kerry. Yeah. And Adam, your team that you just mentioned, the Orlando Solar Bears, ECHL. Team name is amazing. Unique colors. Loves a good tricolor jersey. Number 3, the Toledo Walleyes. ECHL again. Team name is amazing. Great use of the fish logo. Color scheme is on point. Number 4, Utica Comets. The AHL. Outstanding logo and great color scheme. And number 5, the Rochester Americans from the AHL. They kept it simple for years, and this reminds you of the old federal leagues of the 60s and the 70s. All right.
I like
ready?
that last one. That one's really nice.
Yeah,
like the
that's
shield.
clean.
Hockey does stripes the right way.
Yeah.
They do.
And no
So
yolks.
these no yolks, right? And can we say these aren't jerseys? They're sweaters. Hockey calls them sweaters.
That they do. That they do.
All right. These are your one-off jerseys for special events. Top 5. Number 1, the Toledo Walleyes again, 8-bit night Mario jersey.
I was about to say, is that a bad picture or is that 8-bit? That is awesome.
It's
Yeah.
me, Mario.
It gets better. The next one from the ECHL as well, the Fort Wayne Comets, 8-bit jersey night Bowser.
I love
now,
it.
Carrie, in the comments, tell me, were Toledo and Fort Wayne playing each other in this game? Because how awesome would that have been to
Yeah.
have Mario going against Bowser?
That's really cool.
That is cool. All right, the next one, from the AHL, the Rockford Ice Hogs Wizard Night. It looks like a hog. And Carrie says, yes, they did play each other.
Perfect.
That looks
a
more.
hog.
That looks more Hogwarts than
I
hog.
was going to say, is that a white owl in a sorting hat?
It says
You're
Rockford.
a wizard, Harry.
Okay, now
I'm a
that's
what?
awesome. That's awesome. Hogwarts. Okay, I get it
Yeah.
now.
I love it.
It's a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
I understand. a team that is near and dear to my heart, and a team that is near and dear to Carrie's heart because he was the mascot, the Huntsville Havoc, with their Rocket City Long Dogs. This was so every year they have a wiener dog race where we put dachshunds on the ice and they race the length of the ice, and it is iconic, and you see that they are wearing a spacesuit. So
Nice.
the Havoc became the Long Dogs for the night. And finally, I don't know why Carrie put this in here. Ben, you have accused me of being a Tennessee apologist in the past. But Carrie
true.
has his number 5, the Knoxville Ice Bears, University of Tennessee night.
That's just not even right.
Get that off the screen, man. Their children might be watching. Holy cow.
That not happening anymore. All right. There is your hockey segment of the night.
If I wanted a hockey team to lose to Alabama for 12 straight years, I'd go get that jersey.
Oh, I love it. All right, you ready for the NFL, guys?
Yeah. Oh, Brad Toon. Our hockey guy is here. Carrie, I'm a little disappointed in you. No Calgary Hitmen? We're both wrestling guys, and you didn't put the Hitman Hearts team in there? I'm a little hurt, Carrie. All right. Are we NFL or NBA?
NFL is next.
All right.
And here is the bracket, sir. There you go.
So at the number 1 seed, we got the Tampa Bay Creamsicle. At the 8th seed, we have the Packers throwback jersey. At the 4 seed, we got the Titans Oiler throwback. At the 5 seed, we got the Dirty Bird Falcons throwback. At the 3, we've got the Ravens all black. At the 6, we've got New England red with the 90s Patriot logo. At the 2, we've got Dallas with the blue jersey with the stars on the shoulder. And at 7, we've got the Washington football team with the yellow R. For those that are keeping up, that is the 75th anniversary logo that they use for the NFL 75th anniversary. Carrie says, the Hitmen are a junior team. These were all minor league jerseys.
Oh.
So, all right. First matchup for the NFL will be the Tampa Bay Creamsicle versus the Green Bay Packers throwback. Ben, you are a Packers fan.
I'm a huge Packers fan. I love the Packers. I'm all about it. And these Acme Packers throwback uniforms do absolutely nothing for me. I love the Packers, but these are just terrible. And what's that on the shoulders? That is an ugly yoke.
And it's yellow to boot.
I'm not usually a fan of orange, but it seems like a really good throwback, like an Astros jersey or the Tampa Bay Creamsicle, Dreamsicle uniforms are pretty fierce. I think you need Tampa Tom wearing some of these throwbacks here. I got to go with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I love the old Tampa Bay orange and reds, so I'm going to go Tampa Bay on this one as well. You would watch this game and you'd have no idea who that was with the Packers. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
To be honest, the Packers throwback always confuses me with some of the weird Steelers throwbacks that are off balance. Mm-hmm. And so I really do look at that and go, I don't know who that is, and that's my team.
Yeah. If I had put the one with the number in a circle, would you have voted for that one, Ben?
Yeah, that's a little bit more appealing. These right here have the yellow helmets. There was one year where they did a brown helmet to symbolize like the leather heads, and I thought that was a really cool thing. That would have given me some pause there where I might have had to go Packers. But those creamsicle uniforms those are nice.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a clean sweep with the creamsicle. It's the Buccaneer holding the knife in his mouth that really does it for me. Tampa Bay wins this one hands down.
What's his name? Bucko Bruce.
Oh,
Bucko Bruce.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Arians.
Oh, well, heck yeah. Roll Tide. All right.
Roll Tide.
Next, Adam.
All right, round 2 is the Tennessee Titans Oiler throwbacks versus the Atlanta Falcons Dirty Bird. What you got, Dave?
So I'm going to shock some people here. I'm a Titans fan. I bleed Titan blue. But those Falcon Dirty Birds, that combo, it's Deion Sanders wore that look. Jamal Anderson wore that look. Mike Vick wore that look for a little bit. I like that look. I'm going to Atlanta with this one.
All right. Yeah, I like again, we're getting into powder blue, right? And I think those Oilers jerseys were snazzy, but that is not a Warren Moon Oilers jersey. I want to see the powder blue and the red Warren Moon jersey, and this is a throwback and an alternate all mashed into one, and I think it's too much. So I'm actually going to go with the Falcons on this one too. I think that's clean, classic. I look at that, I think Jerry Glanville just pops to mind. So going with the Falcons.
That Falcons uniform is so good, they should just scrap what they've got and go straight back to this right now. It's that good of a uniform.
Right now.
But when the Falcons got started in Atlanta, they actually incorporated red in their uniform, and they had a gold stripe down the middle of their helmet. And the reason for that was they wanted to do an homage to both the Georgia Bulldogs with a little red and black, but they wanted to have a gold stripe for Georgia Tech. So they wanted to show some love to the football tradition of both schools. And then they kind of realized the gold didn't make as much sense, and they got rid of it. If we were talking gold stripe Falcons here, I would be very moved to that. But the Tennessee Oilers, that doesn't even make sense. It's anachronistic. You've got the reference to Houston, but you don't have oil derricks in Nashville. So I love powder blue. I gotta go with the Titans here. The Tennessee Oilers, it makes no sense, and that's what makes it good.
They were the Tennessee Oilers the first year when they played in Memphis, though.
I know, and it makes no sense. That's what's amazing.
Still, even though he voted that way, the Titans move on. No, the Falcons move on.
No, the Falcons move on. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So round 3 is Baltimore Ravens all black versus the Patriots with red jersey and the 90s logo on the helmet.
Adams, kick us off, man.
Man, I feel the same way with Tampa Bay that I do with this. Anybody whose throwback puts the logo on the screen that used to come up on Tecmo Super Bowl on my Nintendo, I'm probably going to vote for them. Like I said with the Oilers, the only difference there was that didn't look anything like the jerseys that you saw back in the day. This looks just like they lifted the ones and moved from the old days and moved it in. So the Patriot in the stance with the ball getting ready to snap it, that's one of my favorite vintage NFL logos. So I'm going to go with the Patriots on this. The Ravens one, to me, it's all black, but it doesn't stand out as much as being something either vintage or different for me. So I'm going with the Patriots.
It's not supposed to be vintage. This is all black alternate.
Yeah.
And when you put that purple with in the numbers with the all black look, that is so sharp. And this is where I put in there that Tom Brady is not the best quarterback of all time. Baltimore wins this round.
I didn't even get to vote.
Sure, you
Okay,
did.
for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I drew some attention to my fabulous conference champion shirt. Look at it. It's well balanced. You've got the year, you got the team, you've even got a basketball net down here. Look, it's perfect. Well, sort of. It's almost perfect. There's only one thing that could make this shirt better. If it wasn't black. Black uniforms are terrible. The Patriots uniform is beautiful. And think about this. Most of the time that Brady played, he was in the new like Flying Dutchman or like Velvet Elvis, Flying Elvis look. And to go back to that throwback where he was always in blue and silver and then suddenly have this like pop with a red jersey, it was just so refreshing. And it was so patriotic. Patriotic! You got to go with that. I'm going with Tom Brady, and I'm going with the Patriots.
In an upset. All black just doesn't work, Dave. Sorry. Just ask Georgia.
Doesn't work. My apologies.
Blackout doesn't work. All right. So last of the preliminaries here is Dallas Cowboys with the blue stars on their shoulders with white helmet, and Washington football team, yellow helmet with the red R logo.
Ben, what do you got, man?
I think I told you earlier that I didn't like the Packers throwbacks because I didn't recognize my own Packers. And every time I glance at the Redskins logo or the Washington logo, I go, "Oh, wait, is that a Packers uniform?" It always throws me for a second, and so I think that's a really well balanced design. The Cowboys, though. Those white shoulders, it's just another weird yoke thing. I can't sign on to that. I love the shoulder sleeves that Washington's got. I hate the shoulders of the Cowboys. I got to go Washington here.
I can't agree with you because to me, those Dallas jerseys, that means Thanksgiving. And when you see those blue stars on the shoulder, they only bring those home blues out on Thanksgiving, and that white helmet is just so amazing. I've got to go Dallas here.
So that means I'm the tiebreaker, huh?
And you are.
And I'm a most of the time Cowboys fan. It seems to change with the NFL. I'm not crazy about the Cowboys ones on this one. But I'm not crazy about the Redskins one either. I think the Cowboys, to me, that silver helmet doesn't need to be messed with. I think that is one of the best helmets in the NFL. And I would have rather they had left that alone and messed with the pants and the jersey. But I'm not going to be a homer for the Cowboys. I'm going to have to go with Washington football team on this one, and honestly think that could be their uniform going forward and just have the R as a homage.
So
and it would not be a true throwback.
What's their mascot if there's an R?
It's just an homage.
The red tails? That could be the red tail hawk.
Sure. It could stand for whatever you want it to stand for.
Wait. You said red-tailed hawk?
Sitting on a limb?
Sitting on a limb. Chubby old groundhog.
Who
bullfrog.
was in charge of the photos again? Who was that?
I think that was
would be
Mr.
me.
Dave Adams, the golden voice of the South.
Who's in these photos? Is that Jason Witten?
That is Jason Witten and Jason Campbell.
You got Jason's from the Evil Empires. What's up with that?
I'm sorry. That's just what came up when I Googled.
You pulled Tennessee and Auburn in here. Can't we vote them both down?
Tennessee Saturday night. Yep.
Nice.
Couldn't
All
feel
right.
better. I'm together.
Go ahead and finish
With
it.
my Dixieland light.
All right, so semifinal
Spend my
one.
dollar.
Roll Tide.
No, on beer.
I don't do that one. You know that, Dave.
Parked in a holler neath the mountain moonlight.
Roll Tide.
Hold her up tight.
Roll Tide. All right, so semifinal number one.
Make a little lovin'.
Roll Tide is Tampa Bay Creamsicles against the Dirty Birds. What you got, fellas?
If anybody can do the Dirty Bird dance, I will vote Atlanta right now.
Can and
See-
want to are two different things.
Seeing as none,
Wait. Are you for real? What if I don't want you to vote for Atlanta?
that's
I mean,
not the
'cause-
Dirty Bird, Ben. No, that's not it. That's not it.
That's the funky chicken.
As Ben said in the past round, I don't like voting orange, but those Tampa Bay, just like those Houston jerseys, they're so bad they're good. I'm voting Tampa Bay here.
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you there. Not being a homer for anything Florida or near my area, but I love the orange and red Tampa Bay vintage jersey, so that's going to be my vote as well. Ben, do you make it unanimous?
When I was in middle school, I had to do a class project, and it was I stayed up pretty late working on it, and it was in the fall, and I thought, well, I should just do the whole color scheme of the poster board in fall colors, and I got points deducted because my teacher told me red and orange don't go together.
Oof.
Oh,
And I'm
Wow.
here to exact my revenge. I'm voting for Tampa Bay to move on to the next round.
What was your teacher's name?
Oh, we're not gonna bring
No?
Mary Burke into this.
Take that, Mary Burke.
wait,
Oh,
was she related to Burke Hall?
No, I don't think so. Perhaps no.
Okay.
She's a great teacher, but I'm still sore. I'm still sore about points off for red and orange.
man.
I thought it was peaceful. It was a good time to be peaceful between Alabama and Auburn fans, but no, points off.
Yeah, that's like one time we were having a drawing contest in second grade, and they said draw a picture of a volcano. So I drew the lava and myself, like tiny in the foreground, big volcano in the back, lava going everywhere. And I had points deducted because I didn't color in the same direction. And I promptly told my teacher, lava doesn't always flow in the same direction. I didn't get the points back, though.
Oh.
But what's lava? Red and orange.
Red and orange. See?
You're
it
right.
all comes
There
together.
you go. There you go.
All right, semifinal 2 is the Washington football team with an R on their helmet for no reason versus the vintage Patriots. David?
If you're going, wow, my Christian name. Okay. If you're going to make me choose between two teams that I absolutely hate, I will vote Patriots here just because of the red, white, and blue color scheme.
Yes, sir. Ben Foster?
I mean, Pat Patriot's pretty awesome. So many times when you think of football or you think of what a football logo should look like, you would think of a quarterback throwing the ball like Tom, but Pat Patriot's the center. He's ready to snap the ball, and you don't see that many like that kind of football logo very often where somebody's playing center. It's usually one of the more glorified positions. So all for the offensive line. I'm supporting the Patriots another time here.
Yeah. I'm going to go with you again. That's one of my favorite vintage logos, so it's unanimous for New England.
All right.
All right, so the finale is vintage Tampa Bay Creamsicle versus vintage New England.
So Tom Brady versus Tom Brady.
It's almost like there's something about that quarterback, Dave.
I mean, he is probably the third best quarterback in the league history.
You're right. The background picture has nothing to do with that, right?
I know that's why you picked it. So do we want to vote the 1 seed of Tampa Bay, or do we vote, what is this, the 5 seed?
The 6.
Oh.
New England was the 6th seed.
I think we're going to have to go with an upset here. Red, white, and blue beats orange and red.
Okay, Ben.
Dave, I gotta agree. The dreamsicle, creamsicle Tampa uniform is really something, but at a certain point, after you advance it a couple of rounds, it starts burning your eyes. You can never get tired of looking at that Patriots uniform. They should go back to it. It's that good. So I gotta go New England here again.
Yeah, I love creamsicle, love the Bucks, but when I was a kid, they had these quarter machines that had NFL helmets in them. And the rare one in the collection, I had all of them except the white New England Patriots helmet with the center, getting ready to snap the ball. And so we went to every grocery store in the area until we finally found one that was right in the slot, ready to turn the quarter. And I finally completed the set with that helmet. So I'm going to go with New England as well for sentimentality's sake.
So New England wins the NFL side of the bracket.
Imagine that.
Now
Whoever heard us
on,
that?
I know, right? Now on to everybody's favorite sport, professional basketball.
Yay.
Yay.
All right, here is the bracket.
Show a little
for you,
more
sir.
excitement.
I mean, we all know who's going to win this bracket.
Do we?
All right. The number 1 seed is Lakers blue from 03-04 against the number 8 Hawks Dikembe Mutombo 95-96 home. Number 4 seed is the Warriors 2015-2016 The City home jersey against the 5 seed Timberwolves 03-04 black jersey. The number 3 seed is Miami Heat's white hot jersey versus the number 6 seed Phoenix Suns 92-2000 all black. The number 2 seed, the Chicago Bulls black pinstripe versus the number 7 seed Detroit Pistons 96-97 red alternate jersey. So Adam,
All right.
let's get the pictures up here.
So round 1.
Fight.
A moment, please. Fight is the 03-04 Los Angeles Lakers blue versus the 95-96 Atlanta Hawks home jersey.
Once again, we should have had the red Hawks and the blue Lakers flipped on these squares.
I didn't seed it. You did.
I know, I seeded it. But it's hard to vote against that blue Los Angeles because Lakes are blue. The Lakers should have a blue color, so I'm going blue.
Okay. Ben?
I should be a bigger fan of the cartoon character uniforms where this kind of cartoon hawk is on there. But the problem with Hawks jersey is it's not even the best Hawks jersey.
It's close. It's to me, that's the best Hawks jersey. Are you going to say you were probably going to say the Dominic Wilkins Atlanta, right? Or Spud Webb Atlanta.
Yeah, when you've just got the red and gold popping on the white uniform, it's just so beautiful. And this Hawks jersey here, it just doesn't do much, and it incorporates black. Now, okay, let's talk about these Los Angeles ones. I totally get the lake blue thing. I don't even remember them wearing these. Where was I in 03-04? What was I doing?
You were at Bama, weren't you?
No.
Oh, you
No,
were
I'm
in
not-
high school.
I'm not that old. So I just don't remember these. And 03-04 is when I was a lad in high school and I was watching Sports Center like 6 times a day. I have zero recollection of these uniforms. It's like they never existed in my mind. And they're cool, but why would you go blue when you could go powder blue? It's just this is a painful choice here between these two. I guess I'm going to go LA, but it just seems so weird to bring in blue when purple is one of your normal colors. So whoever won here was not going to make it very far. So I'll go with LA just because the Hawks uniform bothers me.
Nice. So that actually is one of the original colors that LA had in their jerseys when they arrived and started playing basketball. Was blue.
It looks
So
good. They should have stuck with it. They should have never done the purple and gold thing.
Yeah, I think that's truly an alternate. The Hawks one to me is not necessarily. It is an alternate technically, but it feels to me like like some of the minor league hockey stuff you showed, where they put a big cartoon character on it. Feels to me almost like a minor league jersey or something like that, with that big hawk in the middle of it. I'm going to go with Los Angeles here too. It's clean. I like the color of it. It's a total departure from the purple and gold, and it actually does throw back to some of their history. So,
Yep.
LA
Real
wins.
quick, before we get going, Brad Toon says, where's Vancouver, Memphis Grizzlies, Toronto Raptors? And yes, I'm biased.
Anyway. That's what I'm talking about. Those are all better cartoon jerseys from the same era. They're much better cartoon jerseys than this one.
See, okay, to me, the Memphis Grizzlies or the Vancouver Grizzlies, to me, thinking big country, that just screams, like Adam said, the Arizona jersey screamed. It screams expansion team to me.
Yeah.
This Hawks jersey is something they actually wore and stuck with it for a while. And I can see Dikembe Mutombo.
2 years. It says 95, 96 at the bottom.
Yes, but I can see Dikembe Mutombo shaking his finger wearing this jersey.
Not today. Is that what he wore when he?
No. Yeah. So, all right. So, LA wins this round.
Yep. All right. Round 2 for NBA jerseys is 2015 Golden State The City and 03-04 Minnesota Timberwolves Black.
There's something about those The City jerseys, but I can remember these black Timberwolf jerseys. And Sam Cassell and Kevin Garnett in those jerseys were just amazing. But those Golden State The City jerseys, to me, that's probably one of the best alternate jerseys in the NBA. In the NBA, it's very iconic. I'm going with The City.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the Timberwolves ones at all. Like, that doesn't do anything for me at all. I like the City when it's actually got something different on the front and the back. I like the yellow and the stripe down the side with Warriors. I'm going to go with the Golden State on this one too.
The font on the Timberwolves uniform looks like the font that you would use for a low-budget Halloween movie.
Hey, intern, go design us a logo real quick.
Exactly. It looks like when you're bored in algebra class and you start drawing funny letters, you draw the Timberwolves. And that's what's wrong with that. Also, it's an all-black uniform, and that's terrible too. Everything is going on for Golden State. The City, like it's there's just so much to it. I love it.
Yeah.
Gold and blue just popping. I gotta advance it with you guys.
All right. Leads us to round 3. Miami Heat White Hot versus the Phoenix Suns black jersey from the late 90s.
So we got white versus black. We've got LeBron, who didn't go to college, versus Auburn. And Charles Barkley.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. The large
knucklehead.
mound of rebound here. Adam.
The round mound of rebound.
The round mound of rebound. There you go. Adam,
You're missing an ound.
The alliteration is broken now. I feel the same way about the Miami Heat ones. Look like one of those comics that you buy at a comic book show to have an artist draw on them, the blank white. Just like with all black, they're not doing anything for me. The Suns, though, is iconic. I mean, the black background on that one actually makes the sun pop more than the purple background normally would on their jersey. So I actually like the black in this case because there's so much more going on that one. So I'm going with the Suns. That one to me is iconic, and I think the black does something for it. The all white just is bleh to me. Ben.
Look, I can't stress this enough. Like all black uniforms are like dominantly black uniforms are just terrible. But I can't vote for these all white uniforms because you can't even read them if you get further away. Like, that's zoomed in on LeBron because that's what cameras do. They just automatically zoom in on LeBron. But if you're watching this game on TV, you can't read the name or the numbers or anything. It's impossible to read. Meanwhile, the Suns logo is popping. You can actually read it, and I just got to go with Charles Barkley.
Look, when something is hot, like burning hot, what color is it?
Sun's hot.
It's white hot. those jerseys are so hot, they're white. You've got to admit that is a clean look.
Like they got bleached in the laundry and took the logo off the jersey.
No, I'm going with, my vote doesn't count, but I'm going with Miami here. I never vote for Miami. Y'all know my disdain for that city, but I am voting for the Heat here.
Okay. In vain though.
How many times is that jersey going to win? Not one, not two, not 3. Not at all, Dave.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. All right.
All right.
Round 4, we already know how Dave's going to vote on this one. It's the Chicago Bulls black pinstripe versus the 96-97 Detroit Pistons red.
I mean, is there any doubt in my mind? First off, I hate Detroit. I've always hated the Pistons because of the bad boy era. And that pinstripe, even if Mike didn't wear that jersey, that Bulls pinstripe wins, hands down. Y'all been talking bad about it, but you've got to tell me that all-black alternate, when Chicago pulled that out in the 90s, the whole world went crazy.
The whole world did go crazy in the 90s, you're right. Well, but that's the thing, Dave. We voted for Phoenix because there was something else going on other than just, hey, this is completely black, right? I think the pinstripes work. The Bulls jersey is iconic to begin with. The pinstripes do something for me. I hated when the Pistons redid their logo. I think it was it's like when Alabama redid theirs in the late 90s. It was one of those, hey, let's just redesign it and see if we can do something different. I get the Iron Horse analogy and everything, but I never liked those. And I especially don't like them in red. So it's going to be the Bulls for me on that one.
Guys, let's give some love. This is the best Detroit Pistons uniform they've ever had. You got the. I always thought it was a chess piece. I get that it's an Iron Horse because of Detroit, but I always was just like, oh, they got a chess piece on their jersey. That's kind of different.
Look, Ben, saying it's the best Detroit Pistons jersey they ever had is like saying it's the best Tennessee football team they've ever had.
I'm just saying.
Even good crap is still crap.
Yeah, but you take a team that's been red and blue for ages, then you put them in teal. Come on, man.
I mean, let's talk about this Pistons uniform. Let's just embrace this for just a moment. That is a beautiful shade of red, and Detroit too often doesn't incorporate that red into their uniforms really at any other point. It's beautiful. It makes the Iron Horse pop. You've actually got that red and orange flame going there because red and orange can go together. What really makes this though is the trim all the way through, like at the belt, at the shoulders, at the neck, like on the pants, like all of it, just the striping and piping on these jersey and shorts. Phenomenal design. The biggest problem with the Pistons uniform is actually down there on the shorts. You got to zoom in on Grant Hill's shorts. It's that DP at the bottom with the little extra with the extra tailpipes. You don't need that. It drives me crazy when they try to redo their like extra stuff on the logo. The P on the jersey doesn't have a tailpipe, but they got to add a tailpipe to the P on the bottom. It doesn't add up. But the biggest thing we've got to remember in this round is the clothes don't make the man makes the clothes. Bulls are advancing to the next round.
Good. I was hoping you weren't going to do that. And all this time,
I just had to give poor Grant Hill his due. Like he never gets any break, and I was just like, all right.
All this time you've been saying Pistons. You know the only thing that's been sticking in my head. Adam, help me out here. You know it. You've been thinking it. He did what in a cup?
He did what in his cup? Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Semifinal number 1. As Adam's getting everything ready. I saw it already. Los Angeles Lakers with the blue versus Golden State's The City. Adam, kick us off, sir.
Yeah, Los Angeles' blue is nice. It's a good throwback to when they started in LA. Not really a fan of it overall. I think the city does enough with the color scheme that they normally use, but adds a lot to it there. Like we said, it's different on the front and the back. I'm going with Golden State on this one.
Ben?
I love that script on the Los Angeles jersey. It's a good look, but I just think, hey, the Dodgers were in Los Angeles first. They've got the rights to all the blue. I don't think it works for the Lakers. I gotta go with the city and move them to the next round.
I wanted this to be an LA Chicago matchup. But I have to go with everybody and say the city is the better jerseys here. And Ben's right. LA, if you're going blue in LA, you've got to go Dodgers. I had somebody say when they saw the bracket, that looks like a Clippers jersey to me.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
and they're not wrong. It was iconic when Los Angeles wore those in 03, 04. But I could see that the city jersey being Golden State's alternates forever. Your dad asked Dave, why were the Lakers called the Lakers? They were in Minneapolis, the land of 1,000 lakes, before they were in Los Angeles. Don't try to sports trivia me, Virgil.
Ladies and gentlemen, Virgil asks a question.
Yeah, there you go. I kid, Virgil. I kid. I know my sports, useless trivia.
Well, I
Not
think
as much
the
as
meaning that you can't help with the meaning of that one too. They were Golden State. They took it away from Oakland. So
Right.
to actually have some kind of hark that we belong to a city, not just a state, I think means something to the fans too. So
Yeah,
it's a nice little callback.
And Virgil, you ask all these thousands of questions. I said I know my sports. Me and Ben used to host a radio talk show called Rock and Jock with a man that puts my sports trivia knowledge to shame, and Virgil, your normal trivia knowledge to shame. Ben, we need to bring James, the Hardwood Hardy, on this show one time.
You need to have him come do just trivia. It'll be like Stump the Schwab or something.
Oh, I love it.
It puts me and Virgil to shame, and that's saying something. All right, the final matchup, Adam, in the NBA before we get to the finals.
All right, the final round here is the Phoenix Suns versus
Ooh.
the Chicago Bulls.
This is the 92-93 NBA Finals.
Yeah, that's right.
Charles Barkley versus Michael Jordan. I think we know where I'm going with this.
Do we though? Do we? Oh yeah, we do.
All day, day, MJ.
Ben, what you got?
Look, Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, and I just don't like that uniform that much. It's just it's better than the Suns, but Jordan's catching it easy here. He won't be so lucky in the future.
If I was to own one basketball jersey, I do. It's the black pinstripe with the 45.
Yeah. Hey, what is it? Is it Catch Me If You Can? And they're like, why do the Yankees always win? Because the other team's always staring at the pinstripes.
Exactly.
Pinstripes win. Going with Chicago too.
Yep. All right, your finals.
All right, that puts the finals being Chicago versus Golden State.
The city. Ben?
Dave?
No,
Oh, yeah, Ben. No, well,
Yeah.
I think we already know Ben.
Hey, look, I said Jordan wouldn't be so lucky. Look, obviously, if we're talking about a bracket of best basketball players, Jordan's going to beat Draymond Green and Steph Curry 1-on-2. But we're talking about jerseys here, and you got the city jersey with the bridge. You got the bridge. You got the cable car on the back. There's so much symbolism. It's crisp. It pops. The Bulls jersey just kind of like disappears. I get the red pops on the front of the black jersey, but it doesn't pop like the city jerseys. Gotta go Golden State.
All right, Dave.
Look, I will give the city its due. When they wore these jerseys, they actually beat the 95-96 Bulls record. But they are so iconic with that pinstripe Bulls jersey. Orlando copied it. Other teams in the NBA copied this pinstripe look. It started the alt jersey phenomenon in the NBA. I've got to go with these Chicago Bulls pinstripes.
Yeah, this is a tough one. It's a tough one. On one hand, you could say that Chicago's classic, they did just a small revision to their normal jersey that was drastically different without being too different. But then the city goes so far to have so much symbolism in it, it's completely different. It's not like anything they'd worn before and probably never will. I'm going to have to go with the city, Dave. I'm sorry. But it's the rail car, the trolley car on the back that does it for me.
The fix is in, y'all. The fix is in.
We've made it this far without having a quote unquote all black jersey in, and I think that we can continue that. But no, the pinstripes are great. Don't get me wrong, but that the back of that jersey is what does it for me with the city. So Golden State advances.
All right, so we have our final four now, gentlemen. We've talked about all night that there are so many other jerseys that we can put into here. Let's go two from each of us of any of these categories. Two jerseys that should have made it into this tournament. Ben, start us off.
Okay. We're talking about jerseys that should have made it. I just feel like we really needed more powder blue. I can't stress that enough. I think having the Royals in a few different kinds. We had the A's in there. The A's got eliminated in the first round in against a great Braves uniform, but it was kind of a raw deal. And I think the A's had some like solid yellow jumper uniforms that was like a yellow pullover jersey with the yellow pants. And I think if we'd put that in there, I think that could have gone pretty far. So I think some of the MLB pajama uniforms could have gone a little further if we'd incorporated some of those. I mean, I get a couple of the powder blues go in that direction, but to pull those like solid yellow A's uniforms, that would have been hard to not vote for.
Yep. I was going to say one more.
Okay, well, I was going to say, look, we're sorely lacking in this bracket some college basketball stuff, and we're doing a bracket in March because of college basketball. So we're not talking about good college basketball uniforms. So real quick, I'm just gonna look at that. That's Antoine Petway. Can we talk about these Alabama uniforms? Can we talk about how good those are and how Alabama should go back to those? And then let me also call upon my good friend Jean-Felix.
Jean-Felix.
These were throwback uniforms that Alabama then incorporated as their main uniforms. That's what we need. Bring those back. Bring those back right now. There we go. Right now. Also, honorable mention to Georgetown with their gray uniforms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So there we go.
Adam, what do you got, man?
All right, I'm going to do the same thing as Ben. I'm going to add one that we could have had in an existing bracket, but then also throw one that wasn't even considered just because of what sport it's from. So let me share my screen really quick so that you guys can see. The first one would have been in the NBA bracket, and it is a Toronto Raptors Christmas Day Grinch jersey.
Ooh,
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So that's the one I would have added to the NBA. The one that I would have added had we been doing minor league baseball was when the minor leagues did their faux throwback jerseys. It was when the Montgomery Biscuits were going to be the Greenbow, Alabama Biscuits. So love the vintage biscuit jersey, love the reference to Forrest Gump. It all comes together real nice. The orange and blue, you got to look past it, but the Greenbow Biscuits jersey I would have definitely liked to have had.
I like how the blue and white plaid background is also like Forrest's shirt.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
That is nice. All right. So I'm going to go.
One problem though. That biscuit looks like a stack of pancakes.
That's true. That is true.
I'm going to go with one that us Braves fans should not like. Just because this is one of the teams that beat us. And I think that you would know where I'm going when I share my screen. And a lot of teams beat us in the World Series, unfortunately. But I'm going to go with the old 90s Toronto Blue Jays. Those are just super iconic.
Sure.
And then, I'm thinking of Doug Glanville, Dave Winfield, Jimmy Key, Huntsville's own Jimmy Key wearing those jerseys. And to me, that is super iconic. And also, I will have to throw in another NBA jersey. And this is one I mentioned earlier. And I'm pulling it up right now.
Michael Jordan, Washington Wizards.
Yeah, no. Hold up, I'm pulling it up.
Michael Jordan, Birmingham Barons. No?
No, why not? But
While Dave's pulling that up, I also just want to point out I do love the letters and numbers on the Toronto jerseys, but what I really love is when Alabama has used that lettering and numbering, that font for Alabama baseball jerseys. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I can agree. I'm trying to find the jersey right now, and my internet is running slow. Bear with me momentarily. Come on, internet.
I believe in you, Dave. You can do this.
I know. All right, here we go. They brought it back last year before the pandemic. But the Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, Orlando Magic black pinstripe that they brought back a couple years ago are just super iconic.
Oh, sure.
And if we had a play-in game, that was my last man out.
Okay.
For the NBA.
That's got the Disney logo on it, so that's the more recent incarnation. If you can go back to the version they had in the 90s, that's a pretty sharp looking uniform. But the font and everything on the new modern take on that is just too clean. It doesn't work.
So you want the star instead of an A, and
you got to go back to that old Orlando Magic logo from the 90s. That looks like a knockoff because
it was a knockoff.
I know, but it's a modern looking overly clean font, and it just looks trashy. It looks like somebody other than the team made it.
Disney made it. They wished upon a star. All right, Adam.
Yeah.
What is our final four?
All right, I'm going to share the bracket while I get the other ready. Let me zoom out. This thing is doing funky stuff. All right. Here we go. So your final four are the Braves versus the Duck Look from Oregon, and then New England versus Golden State. So I have a question for you guys. I know the Braves made it. We talked, alternate jerseys. What about the cream Braves jersey? You guys a fan of that one? That off-white with the crossed tomahawks on the sleeve?
Well, I'm not a fan at all because it has Braves without the tomahawk under it.
Okay.
Dave, what shirt are you wearing?
But they didn't bring in the tomahawk then. There was no tomahawk in the logo in the 70s.
Yeah, but there was in the 50s and 60s.
Well, that's when they were in Milwaukee, yes. I'm not a fan of the cream. Even though I have a jersey,
let's go back to the original subject.
even though I do have a cream jersey, I'm not a fan of the cream.
How about all navy blue?
Love it.
The new incarnation, I do too.
Love it.
Yeah,
the cream jerseys just look like you have washed a dirty uniform.
Yeah.
Why would you go with cream when you could go with like a crisp white? And I got to say the Braves navy alternate from this past season is much better than the navy alternate they had a few years ago because they're actually using red lettering on a navy jersey instead of navy lettering on a navy jersey.
Absolutely.
It pops. It doesn't disappear.
Yep.
Disappear.
All right. So Major League Baseball versus NCAA, the Braves versus Oregon Duck Look. What you got, guys?
Ben, kick us off. because I don't want to choose.
Please, exactly. You're the guest. Do something.
Well, yeah, look, I got to be honest. This Braves jersey, its own Hank Aaron, it doesn't get much better than that. But the way it could get better would be if the lettering had a little bit more red and a little less white. It would pop a little bit more, and I think there's room to improve it. And I think in other iterations in the 70s, they probably did. But I got to say, with Oregon, it's a gimmick, and the gimmick can only get you so far. And it'll get you out of NCAA football, but it won't get you past iconic. And that's what the Braves have got right there. We got to put the Braves in the final.
Dave?
I'm wearing the jersey. If I vote for the Braves, people will claim that I am one-sided and I am partisan and I play favorites. You know what? Who cares? The Braves, like Ben said, this jersey is iconic. Gimmicks will only get you so far.
Yeah.
Anybody in wrestling will tell you a gimmicked match can fail. Look at the exploding barbed wire death match that just happened on Sunday.
I was just thinking about that.
I love that to emphasize the point that gimmicks are bad, Dave used professional wrestling as the positive.
I know. I'm saying it failed. I'm saying it didn't work. It didn't it didn't drive home what it needed to drive home. When the icons stand the test of time, the Braves and Hank Aaron beat Oregon.
This is what I love about our show. You found a way to tie sports jerseys with exploding barbed wire, Dave. I mean, two things that should never be in the same sentence, and you connected them perfectly. I love it. Well, you connected them well.
Perfectly.
So for me, would Oregon ever go back to this jersey and call it, you remember that one time we wore that jersey? Let's throw back to it again. Probably not. But there's still merchandise, there's still throwbacks that incorporate elements of this Braves jersey to this day. And you add the historical significance with Hank Aaron and everything like that, sure. But this is still merchandise and still used in the Braves pantheon of things you can wear or buy or see on the field all these years later. So I'm going to go with Braves on this one as well. Surprise, surprise, right?
Right.
All right, so the next final is NFL versus NBA. New England Patriots red jersey with the white helmet versus the City Golden State jersey.
I'll start. Normally I am red, white, and blue, American as they come. But the City beat the team that should have taken this entire bracket. So I am going to go
What is this?
with the City over
What on earth?
over New England.
Dave was wanting Braves in Chicago in the finals. Come on.
This is not a jersey bracket. This is Dave's feelings bracket.
Facts don't care about your feelings, Dave. So Golden State from Dave. All right, what about you,
State
then?
for me.
Oh man, this is difficult. Like red, white, and blue always pops. A nice yellow and blue pops. I love the symbolism of the City jerseys where you incorporate the City imagery. It's the only one with a trolley car. But the Patriots is such a classic look. I'm really conflicted. Let me just say I'm really bothered. The one thing that really holds the City jersey back is the Warriors piping on the shorts. That really bothers me. I'm struggling with that.
That's what pops it for me.
I mean, Dave's taking out all his angst on Tom Brady, and he's upset that Michael Jordan didn't make it.
He's the greatest athlete of all time.
But he's not. But that's not the greatest jersey of all time. Give me the City. Let's do it. Let's move.
Oh wow!
Basketball advancing in the bracket.
All right. Well, I was going to go with the Patriots, but that's all for naught now. Fine, whatever. Can I pout now too?
Yes, you can pound.
All right. So the final after
Well, who,
2
you didn't
hours.
give me your vote.
The Patriots.
Okay, you voted for the Patriots.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to go for the Patriots. Yeah. All for naught. All right. So the finals is the Braves versus Golden State.
Adam, go ahead and you vote first.
I said it last round, and I know I'm wearing a Braves jersey right now. But it goes back to which of these will be seen again and would probably be a throwback you could see used in the future. I don't know that. I mean, maybe Golden State would go back to it and say, hey, that one season we wore these jerseys, we're going to do it for a week or something, you know. But this is part of the Braves. This alternate jersey became something that we still use and is still around. So I'm going to be a homer, but not for just homer reasons, because of staying power, and go with the Braves jersey.
Ben?
Who's next?
You guys got to make it tough. Look, these city jerseys, it's just glowing on the screen because it's such a beautiful shade of yellow. It's such a beautiful jersey. And Adam wants to make the argument about like things you would bring back versus things you wouldn't bring back. That's what this is a throwback. The San Francisco Warriors wore these jerseys back in the day. And now Golden State's wearing them, and they basically, the only time they didn't wear them was when they were terrible. These jerseys made Golden State good. They made the Warriors good, and that's a Magic jersey. But you know, but you know what? If I'm thinking about Magic jerseys, I'm also thinking about this Magic. Can we talk about? Can we talk about this? And you guys can say whatever you want to. About me picking the Braves in the final and say I'm a homer. But you know what homers make me think of? Ronald Acuna Jr. and Hammer and Hank Aaron. Let's do this. Let's put the Braves across the finish line. Chop on best uniforms in this entire bracket.
For the A.
Dave, put a bow on it. Get
he's
that out
still
of here.
pouting about MJ, man. Get over it. Go watch The Last Dance when we're done. Give us your pick.
Man, Michael Jordan wouldn't even make that, wouldn't even vote for that jersey.
No, I think everybody knew. Honestly, I had the Bulls jersey winning it when I ran this out in my bracket. But I think everybody knew that if it came down to putting the Braves jersey in the finals, I'm voting the Braves. Just because that jersey alone is iconic. Mm-hmm. And honestly, any of these jerseys that were in there in the past, can we say, you know what, they're going to wear these again? New England hasn't worn those red jerseys in years. The city, they haven't worn those jerseys since 2015. Oregon has never worn those duck jerseys since 2016.
And never will again, probably.
And never will again. But the Braves wear these 74 jerseys every year. If we're going iconic, that jersey is iconic. Jeffrey Martin is trying to say, see, rigged. Rigged from the beginning. Can we order a recount? Absentee ballots? Anything. Jeffrey Martin, who would you have picked? Your powder blue jersey's lost in the first round. Come on.
So hang on.
Jeffrey, there's no recounts in Georgia.
Oh.
Yeah, that's outside of our dominion. So, hey, yeah. Jeff, wasn't Jeffrey the one saying last week was rigged?
Yeah. Patriots throwbacks are nice, though. You are correct. They are.
I agree. That would have been my pick. I would have had them in the final, too.
Yeah. Oh, Hennessy also says the Braves ones are nice, but unless you're ludicrous in 2001, that look ain't going to work. Come on, man.
I love it.
Come on.
I love it. So let's do this. Let's do a quick homer check, guys. Go ahead. Keep going, Dave. Keep going.
Yeah, and we got another one. Brad Toon. I'm shocked the Braves fans clean sweep. Amen, Jeffrey. Come on.
So let's check this out. Let's look at these. Let's say if the seeding had been any different.
Okay.
Who would have beaten the Braves if they were up against them? They were already the one seed to begin with. Would any of these have beaten it if they were in a different place?
Oh, Astros. If you guys had not killed the Astros early, I would have voted the Astros over the Braves, 100%.
Huh. So it came down to the pillbox hat, in other words.
Braves homer, and yeah, you guys, we all voted the Braves past the Pirates. So if the Pirates had met the Braves earlier and the Pirates hadn't eliminated the Astros, I would have put the Astros past the Braves.
So if the Astros had beat the Pirates, you would have voted the Astros
over the Braves. That is 100% truthful. What I was planning to do, as much as I love the Braves, I would have voted the Astros jersey over the Braves. Okay. And I would have accepted the consequences of that. To be honest, I actually, back home at my parents' house, probably from my high school days, I do have a Braves and an Astros throwback hanging side by side, nice. Back there somewhere at my parents' house.
So let's scroll down to the college football bracket there, Adam. If any of these college football jerseys hadn't made it, would any of these have beaten the Braves?
I could have had the Army one going all the way, to be honest. Okay. If that one hadn't, if it wasn't for the yoke, I might have been able to see that one through, but that would have been the only one. I don't think any of these have the same.
All right, anybody over on the NFL side? No.
Tampa Bay possibly, but probably not.
And I think we all know, I say the Bulls would have won.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of those.
Okay.
So there you go.
So it was destiny. I mean,
I really think the Astros probably would have been the only thing I would have voted past the Braves. And I thought it was going to happen.
And Hennessy says his favorite jersey of all time is the black 99 Timberwolves alternate. Now I've got to Google that one and see. Hold up. 1999. You got it, Adam?
I'm working on it, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty similar to the one that we threw up there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's close. It's good, but I honestly, if we're going black alt, it's got to be that Bulls pinstripe.
It's got to be.
Well, I mean, it's the Bulls pinstripe black alternate is what started the alternate jersey phenomenon.
Okay. So if the Bulls would have made it to the final,
they would have beaten the Braves.
Would you have picked them over the Braves?
Hands down.
Would you have picked them over the Braves, Ben?
The Bulls? No, absolutely.
So we're still with the Braves winning. No matter how we slice this, the only way they wouldn't have won is if we didn't include them.
Look, here's the thing. In my mind, baseball is just aesthetically a better sport than the others. And alternates and throwbacks and things of that nature are just done better in baseball because you have such a defined image for baseball teams for an entire era. Whereas now the NFL and the NBA, you talk about some of these jerseys like the City and the Patriots not going back to their uniforms in recent years. That's because there's contracts in the NFL and the NBA that keep these teams from going back to them. Baseball is more of a sport for purists, and they want to see the 74 jersey every single year. But that's not true in the NBA and the NFL, where they're trying to churn a whole bunch and have new alternate jerseys. And the league itself is keeping teams from going back to some of these jerseys because they want them to be rare and scarce.
So we've got to have two comments here. I agree with you on that. Hennessy Williams says, I played Navy in college, and that was the most boring football game he's ever played in his life. Those jerseys lose points just because of that playbook.
Amen to that. Yeah.
Come on, man. Let the bone roll. That flex bone is one of the coolest offenses to watch on TV.
In the 20s.
I might be saying that just because I'm an Alabama football fan and Bear Bryant with the wishbone. He also agrees with me. The Bulls pinstripe was the best in the 90s. Just saying.
So Hennessy then. Hang on. All right, let's make sure this is up there then. So if you're picking between these two, where were the Bulls? Where did they fall out? They fell out
in
here.
The finals. Yeah,
all right, Hennessy.
In the finals.
Would you say Bulls pinstripe or Golden State the City jersey? Which one would you pick there? Let's make Dave feel better potentially.
Yeah, we'll sit here. All right, and also while we're waiting for his answer, your dad says, "What about Major League Baseball wearing shorts?"
What about Major League Baseball wearing shorts?
The White Sox did that for a minute.
Yeah, the White Sox did, and they should never do it again.
No. It's not intramural softball, for Pete's sake.
Agreed.
Hey, I gotta apologize. In some of the baseball talk, and we were talking about other things we'd like to see. I completely failed to bring up the Milwaukee Brewers.
Ooh.
Where were the Brewers in this with their like old school, like bright blue and gold with the MB that
Making
makes
that
a
look
like a
baseball
glove?
glove? Yeah, where was that, Dave?
I mean, who would you have taken out? Who would you have taken out?
Get the bracket back up. Let's do this. Let's
boy, here we go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go.
All right, here's the MLB bracket.
All right. Look, you know,
I would have taken out the D-backs or the Mariners myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Easily, the Mariners trident is blue and gold and has nothing on the Brewers, and you know you also gotta remember that the Seattle team was stolen and sent to Milwaukee by Bud Selig, so it would just be right to steal from Seattle again and put the Milwaukee Brewers there at 5 instead of the Mariners, and I would totally have voted that over the Reds as much as I like the Reds. I would have put the Brewers in there, and that would have been challenging against the Braves. That would have been challenging.
No, that vest look would have won out in the first round anyway.
And I also would have been fine with the Brewers going there instead of the Diamondbacks. And I got to be honest, I would be really torn on picking between the pillbox hat and the just awesome Brewers logo.
Yeah.
So what we've learned here is every sport does throwbacks and alternates. But really, no sport does it better than baseball. I think baseball is the way to go when it comes to the alternate or throwback jersey.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with that.
And can we say that the best alternate jersey of any time that should have made this list was 1998 when the Major League Baseball did throw forward the clock?
Absolutely not.
I don't know that I remember those.
Oh my gosh, the Astros, they wore that, or the Angels, they wore that vest that had the huge winged A on the front.
Oh, yeah.
Just about everybody did it, except for like the Yankees, I think.
I don't think the Braves did either. The Mariners had, like, it was the big compass rose, like, on their chest. It was, like, from here to here. I mean, it was hilarious.
And the Mercury Mets, holy cow, yeah, I'm looking at some of them now. That's crazy.
I wish they would do it again.
Wow.
So, Brad Toon
I feel like somebody did it. I don't think everybody did it, but I feel like somebody did actually do the turn ahead the clock here in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think so. Brad Toon says, agree with Ben. The NBA pushes far way too many crazy new jerseys. Also, the Montreal Expos missed, which is hard to say as a Jays fan. Yep. I wish, and a good friend of mine called the Montreal Expos the Jibbas because it looked like a J and a B.
Yes, it did, yeah.
So,
Yep.
All right. Well, there is the bracket. Like it or not, the Atlanta Braves 1974 is your jersey bracket champion. Ben, it was wonderful having you back on the podcast.
It was great. It was great being here.
Yeah, we don't need to wait 83 weeks to do it again.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. So
I think this needs to be at least once a year, maybe once a quarter.
I'm down for that.
Cool.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
At least every March.
I mean, why not? When we do the bracket challenge every year.
Perfect.
Adam, if they want to tell us how wrong we are, which I'm sure a lot of people are saying, how would they do so, sir?
Oh, how wrong we are, what other jerseys they would have included. There's lots of feedback we could get on this one. So you'd call 650-UAB-SHOW, spell it out on your keypad. You'll hear a brief message and then a beep.
Beep!
There you go. Thank you, Dave. And leave a message after that. We will play it on the show 100% of the time. We incorporate it into the show. And that's one good way to be a part of it. Or if you want to tell us how we're wrong in real time, you can catch us on Facebook when we're live or after the fact on our socials, Dave. How would they do that?
Facebook.com/unrelatedbirth. You can hit us up on Twitter at NotRelatedBros. I'm at DAdams419. He doesn't have a Twitter. He is at the Ben Foster if you want some good basketball follows. On the Instagram, we are at UnrelatedBirth. I'm at DAdams419. He is at RunTideRun. Ben, are you at the Ben Foster on Instagram as well?
I am on both platforms.
Well, there you go. Also, if you choose to, patreon.com/unrelatedbirth. If we get to 11, right now we're at 8. If we get to 11, $5 a month.
These go to 11.
I will chug this crap
And
live on show.
And
Oh, not sing for a month.
thank you.
So $5 a month gets
That's
me
worth
not
its weight.
singing. And you get to see me chug this crap on show on air. And
That's just torture.
I'm dreading that. Here we go. Hennessy Williams also says the NBA All-Star throwbacks are money. Yeah, see, we could really get into the weeds with those All-Star throwbacks.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. The Michael Jordan All-Star throwbacks are the best.
Jeez Louise. Oh, man.
All right, guys. Hey, we say it every week. We truly mean it. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening. Adam, take them home.
Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for giving us a little bit more time out of your week. Remember, we love you, but not as much as Jesus does. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another, and we will catch you again next week.
And we're out.
That we are.
But we're still live on Facebook. So those that are still here, we still have 6. Who would you have voted? I want to know. All right, Jeffrey Martin and Brad Toon are giving us hell. I want to know of the list we had, gentlemen, who would you have voted to win? Jeffrey, I'm putting you on the spot. Brad, I'm putting you on the spot. Who would you have voted to win? Huh? Tell us.
Huh? Did you? Tell me.
I will wait.
I'm happy with the results. I don't know what everybody's problem is.
I mean, I am too, but it is a little bit of a homer pick. I tried so hard not to make it a homer pick.
Yeah, but the only way for them not to win, given where they were seated, is for them to have not been included. We covered that.
Jeffrey would have made his homer pick and gone with the powder blue.
And would it have won everything? That's the question.
Would the powder blue St. Louis Cardinals have beaten the Oregon Duck look?
Probably.
Would they have beaten the New England Patriots red, white, and blue look?
Ooh. Oh man, I'm just such a sucker for a baseball uniform and such a sucker for powder blue. But also I hate the Cardinals. That would be tough. I still think the Cardinals would come out on top. I mean,
would the powder blue had beaten Golden State, the city?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would have been
definitely.
easy.
So Brad Toon says Golden State would have won for him in the last two.
Okay.
I mean, that's your opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, even if they're wrong.
There's no wrong opinions, just wrong people.
Yep. Here you go. Jeffrey said he had St. Louis, Oregon, Patriots, and Bulls as his Final Four. That's a good Final Four. I'm not going to lie. I mean, St. Louis probably would not have been there in mine. I mean, they didn't make it past the first round in my book. So, Jeffrey, you're wrong. Anyway, just a reminder for those of you still watching, there will not be a show next week. I will be in the same city as Adam.
Seems like a
Shock.
good reason to do a show.
Yeah, but I'll be at a theme park.
Do the show from the theme park. If only you knew someone with an N at the theme parks.
I know, right? Hey, by the way, Brad,
I'm sorry, what?
thanks, Adam and Dave, for both using your honorable mention as a Canadian pick. By the way, notice he spells honorable as Canadian. Yeah, that's the Canadian way of spelling honorable.
You're welcome.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
About.
Sorry they weren't included to begin with. Sorry.
Let's all go to the mall. Robin Sparkles. Oh, that's right. You've never watched How I Met Your Mother, Adam. I forgot.
Sorry.
He doesn't know what we're talking about. Anyway, so I will be in Orlando. I wish I knew somebody that could get me a private studio in Orlando that could be quiet and we can record.
Where's
Nobody
that private
has that.
What are you talking about?
If we went into Orlando to Universal and recorded in their radio studio.
If you want to view paradise,
Do you know somebody who has an in with Universal that can get
simply
you that?
look around and view it.
I mean, we could try to record. Do you want to try to do a recording?
Do you know somebody at Universal to get a private? What, I don't even understand what you're talking about with
They
this.
have a recording studio at Universal.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can't use it. I could try to record, but I'll be in a
No,
condo.
You need to
No.
enjoy your time with your family, Dave.
Yeah, okay.
You
We're
got
taking-
a whole gaggle coming down this time too.
Yeah, there's 9 of us going to be in a 2-bedroom DVC villa at Animal Kingdom, Savannah View.
I'm not the greatest with math, but I thought I heard you say 9 people in 2 bedrooms.
It's really 3 bedrooms. So there's a king bed, a fold-out queen couch, and a bedroom that has 2 queen beds.
The math still doesn't work.
Carry the
My-
one.
My 4 are, it's me and Amanda in the king bed, and I know our girls will sleep in the bed with us. Carrie's going to sleep on the fold-out bed, and Eric and his wife and his 2 kids are sleeping in the 2 bedroom or the 2 queen bedroom.
It's comfy.
It works, and we have a balcony overlooking the savannah. So Carrie said he will probably just pull one of the chairs out into the balcony and sleep on the balcony, where a giraffe can come and lick his ear, wake him up.
Like Jurassic Park. Vegisaurus.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. Ben, what have you been up to lately, man? I mean, have you been to a lot of the home games?
I've made it to every home SEC basketball game. And I made it to half of the home football games.
Okay.
So Alabama won every game I attended in football and basketball.
Really?
That has never happened before in my life.
That's impressive. So let me get your opinion here. And while I've got both of you on here, we'll have a mini sideline warning. You ready?
Oh boy, here we go.
Adam, you're muted. And I think I know your opinion of this, Adam, but I don't know your opinion, Ben. College football, Bryant-Denny Stadium, will be back to capacity in September. Thoughts?
I mean, it all depends on where we are. Standing here in March, I think it's a bit presumptuous, but at the same time, hearing in the news that there will be enough vaccine for every adult American by May, sure.
Hey, I think a full stadium at full capacity is great if it's safe. And the great thing is, I think UA is not going to take on a lot of extra risk. They're going to do things safe, and they'll tone that back if they have to. I think we've got to figure out whether or not these vaccines actually last more than 2.5 months. There's conflicting data on how long they last and how long they're effective. And then I think we've also got to figure out what's up with the variants. There's questions about whether the vaccines work with the variants. And there also, between now and the start of college football season, there is time for a new variant to develop.
I don't want to think about that.
I wouldn't. I don't want to think about it either. But it's the uncertain things. You can't put a probability on these things, but you can think of what the outcome would be if they happened, and that's the stuff you have to keep in mind.
And it's uncomfortable to talk about, I guess, to an extent.
Well,
but the problem you're going to have with Alabama is based off of a lot of surveys that are being done. Even if the vaccine is effective for a year, and it's effective against the variants for a year, the demographics and how those certain demographics are reporting in these polls of if they'll even take a vaccine. Because even if it's available for every American, you have 45% of people of a certain race and geographic location are saying they would never get it. And most of those people are who is going to be at Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturdays. So I think you have to not just look at the situation around the country and what's available, but I think you have to look at what's actually being accepted. Because you could potentially have half the stadium say they would never get it.
Well, and it also depends. Are you asking full capacity and asking those people to wear masks while they're shoulder to shoulder with people? Or is that something you need or are asking people to do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that something that everybody would want? Is the other thing too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wouldn't comply with it.
Right. Keep in mind, the first game will be at Bryant-Denny Stadium against Texas, I believe, or are we USC at Dallas? I think it's USC
this year.
USC's this year.
Yeah.
No, that was supposed to be last year. I believe, wasn't it? Maybe 2022 is
The
Texas.
2021 schedule opens against Miami and Atlanta,
Okay.
then Mercer and Tuscaloosa.
Okay. So that second game in September in Bryant-Denny Stadium, it'll probably be an 11 o'clock kick. You're looking 150 degrees in the sun.
Yep.
Oh, nobody wants to watch that Mercer game. That had better be a 6 p.m. game. Nobody wants to watch us like murder Mercer.
Right. Jeffrey Martin says if they're not getting the vaccine, they're not wearing a mask. Just saying.
Masks don't work.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, yeah. But, I mean, who wants to wear a mask in Bryant-Denny Stadium at 11 o'clock or 6 o'clock even? Because even the 6 o'clock game will be 110 degrees. Because the sun
could be warm. It'll definitely be humid.
So I could tell you honestly, and this is shocking, a shocking revelation from me. Because, Ben, you know as well as I do that being at that stadium, there's nothing like it. To hear the stadium rocking, to see the light show, to see the Jumbotron, to shake that shaker to Dixieland Delight. But if this last year has taught me anything, I enjoy my couch. I enjoy when those 000s hit, I turn to another game. There's something about being at Bryant-Denny Stadium,
Oh, yeah.
but there's
Not
also
against Mercer.
But there's also something about being on your couch.
Well, and ticket prices keep going up. And it's like, why would you spend this extra money on a ticket price when you could be really comfortable on your couch? I totally understand it. And honestly, I think what we're going to see in the next few years is you're going to see stadiums kind of move to the extreme. And Dave, you're a perfect example of somebody in the middle. You're not at the extreme. And I think you're going to say, well, I would rather be at home comfortable on my couch taking in all the games, and TV contracts matter. They need you on your couch watching the games. So you're in the middle and you're going to stay home. I think people in the middle like you stay home in the future. And then I think the stadium goes to the extremes. I think you're going to have people that are like super wealthy that want to have super nice air conditioned boxes, and that's what they're doing at Bryant-Denny. They're putting in more boxes and they're putting in stadium improvements. I think you're going to have a lot more folks gravitating to that and stadiums adopting and adapting to that. And then you're going to have a lot of other people that want really cheap tickets and probably in the future really cheap beer, and they're going to be so you're going to have these two extremes. You're going to have these like well air conditioned nice boxes at one extreme, and then you're going to have these like really cheap tickets, cheap beer situations too, and you're going to have the two competing, and you're going to be in the middle at home on your couch enjoying the game.
Yeah,
that's where it's going.
Yep.
And it's sad because tailgating is a sport, and I think tailgating is the one thing that will suffer when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
because I think you'll have I think you'll see that kind of separation happen with the tailgates too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Martin makes a good point. He said that's why he gave up his Illini season tickets. 4-hour driving total with 3-hour game. Being at the stadium is great, but not that much. Totally agree.
Yeah. Well, and how does the whole, we've even gotten used to paying a little bit more to watch a movie instead of going to the theaters. We'll watch it on a streaming service. And I said a long time ago, and they kind of do it now with the national championship game. You have multiple views, multiple ways to watch the game. Could there eventually be some kind of streaming service that gives you an in-stadium experience without the commentators, without having to listen to Brad and Gary or anything like that? Could there potentially be something in the streaming realm where, maybe it's not even extra, it just gives you an experience like you're there from a surround sound perspective and things like that, to where at least if you're not there, you get more than just I'm watching it on TV. It's more of a feel like you're there. Who knows?
I don't think you'll ever get the experience of Bryant-Denny Stadium shaking.
Oh, no,
when
you
a-
won't ever get that. But I'm talking about, like, instead of I'm watching a side angle view and I've got announcers I don't even want to listen to, right? I mean, how long have we complained about that? That kind of stuff, I think, choosing your audio feed, choosing the view you want, could you have a more customizable experience of how you choose to watch the game? That's more of what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And let's take this to a Ben Foster realm here. College football is great, but what about in 2021, 2022, when Coleman Coliseum says we're going to do a full Coliseum? Well, okay. Rupp Arena says they're going to do a full Rupp. Coleman Coliseum will never be full because the old blue hairs don't ever fill Coleman Coliseum. But
I think Coleman's going to be full. I think Coleman's going to be full when it can.
so what? Let's put it to that way. I mean, yes, you've been to all the basketball games, but there are probably people who would have gone to Coleman this year who have been watching the games and now say, you know what? My couch is better than driving an hour and a half to Coleman and fighting that traffic to get back and having to be at work the very next day.
Well, I think there would have been a number of times this year with the way the team was playing where Coleman would have sold out and you would have 15,000 people losing their minds for Alabama basketball. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, the team probably would have played better in those circumstances. As great as they've been, they would have played better with more crowd noise and more crowd energy around them. That's home court advantage has so much more influence on a basketball game than it does a football game. So I think there's that potential. But also, if you look at some of the plans that Greg Byrne has floated, they're going to reduce seating probably by 33% or something like that. They're looking at going from 15,000 to 10,000 in some of these sketches for what Coleman could look like after a renovation. So I think that solves some of the stay-at-home crowd and gets you to where you have more sellouts. And the great thing about Coleman is if you keep that concrete roof, it's going to reflect the noise. So if you put 10,000 people closely packed together or 15,000 people closely together, that roof is going to reflect all the sound right back down on the court. And it's going to be great.
So let me ask you this, Ben, and this we'll stop the Sideline Warning show right after this. But
oh, goodness.
No. So we've had Hunter Johnson come and go. And we just had Fluffopotamus graduate. Who takes over for the Coleman Coliseum student section? Is there a next Hunter Johnson Fluffopotamus waiting in the wings at Coleman Coliseum right now?
I think what's so unique about Hunter and Fluff is that Hunter came when Mark's Madness was really like surging because there was so much good vibes around Gottfried, but Hunter then stayed when things weren't great for Alabama basketball and some rough seasons. Fluffopotamus, Luke Ratliff, he rose up when there wasn't a whole lot to be excited about. There were a few things, but there wasn't a whole lot to be excited about. And that's what makes him especially unique. Right now, the brand is so good that even if next year's team is not quite as good as this year's team, although I think it could be just as good, maybe even better, I think it's going to be easy to find somebody with that kind of energy and enthusiasm. Granted, they broke the mold with Hunter and Fluff, but there will be a new incarnation of that because the student section just it the cream always rises to the top, and there will be an energetic, enthusiastic student that rises to the front of the student section. There's no replacing Hunter. There's no replacing Fluff, but there will be somebody that steps up and can do the job pretty well.
And I guess I also missed when I didn't say the face in between Hunter and Fluff. I mean, come on, he's now making it big on Jimmy Fallon.
Look, I'm not gonna disparage, but like the face guy had a good joke. He had a good gimmick in the student section, but he was never leading the student section. He was running his bit in the student section, and there's a difference. He was the most he was notable because there was nothing else going on, but he wasn't getting the student section enthused on every play, and he wasn't standing on top of a seat like jumping up and down getting people fired up. He had his thing with his face, and at the time it was really funny. It was a good bit, but it's not the same as what Hunter and Fluff do.
That's true. Is there another place for a Hunter and Fluff? I mean, and I think you answered this, but does the student section need another Fluffopotamus, or can it kind of coast right now until another one rises to the top?
Yeah. You always need leaders.
Okay,
that's
good.
So there's gonna be somebody that yells just a little bit louder and a little bit harder than everybody else. There's gonna be somebody that's a little bit funnier than everybody else, and there's gonna be somebody that does their homework to know the middle names of the referees, and that person's gonna be in charge.
What's Doug Show's middle name? Crappy? Horrible? Bad? Okay. Put you on the spot, Ben. Who wins the SEC basketball tournament?
Alabama.
Okay, put you on the spot. Not a homer pick. Who wins the SEC basketball tournament?
It would be pretty painful, but I could see a scenario where Kentucky just suddenly gets inspired. That would just be the Calipari witchcraft to have Kentucky get on a roll. But that would be really unfortunate for Alabama. If you're not picking Alabama in the SEC tournament, the obvious pick is Arkansas. That's the pick you could go with. Outside of Alabama, it's really Alabama and Arkansas, and then everybody else. So beyond that, you're trying to think about who it could be. LSU's a good offensive team, and they're just terrible on defense. So is there a scenario where you're playing in a tournament and guys have played 2 or 3 days in a row and they've got tired legs, so maybe they're slow a step on defense, and LSU stays hot offensively and they catch a team on an off day defensively? LSU could probably from have an outside chance, but I mean this tournament this year, it's really about Alabama and Arkansas, and then everybody else.
Gun to your head, does Alabama make it past the Sweet 16 this year in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You're so full of crap. All right, so
look, I do think Alabama can hang with just about anybody if they're playing their absolute best basketball. But they played their absolute best basketball in January, and we are they going to get back to that in March? Is the real question here? Is that going to be multiple guys hot at the same time, so you can't just focus your attention on shutting one guy down? If you have to shut down 2 or 3 guys when you're trying to defend Alabama, you're in a lot of trouble. So if Alabama can get multiple guys hot at the same time, they'll get beyond the Sweet 16. If they don't, Sweet 16 I think is kind of the ceiling. But I think these guys know what's at stake, and I think they want this moment. And I also think that if we want to talk about versus February versus March, January and March, they're going to be way healthier than they were at any point in February. And I think, why couldn't you get back to that January form if everybody's healthy? If Jordan Bruner is starting and playing more minutes, and Herb Jones is healthy and playing more minutes and playing better just overall, staying out of foul trouble, going to the basket more, being smart about the shots he takes. I think if you can put multiple offensive possibilities out there, I think this team's got a very high ceiling.
Herb Jones has to learn how to stay out of foul trouble. You're right, and failure.
Which he's done a great job in the last few games.
He has, but also failure has to learn how to shoot away from Coleman Coliseum.
Hey, look, Petty's been great. Petty's been great on the road this year. I don't know what you've been watching, but keep jinxing Petty. I appreciate it.
Failure.
All right. and by the way, have we re-signed Failure to the Braves? I don't think Nick Markakis is on the Braves anymore.
You know, I should know that, but I don't know Markakis' status.
I don't think he's with the Braves anymore.
Are we cakesless?
I think we have no more Failure on the Braves. Anyway,
there's always room for more.
We'll call Acuna Failure this year. Hey,
are we doing?
My reverse jinx worked every other year, so why not?
Oh my goodness.
Mike Soroka and Ronald Acuna Jr. are failures this year.
Yeah, if you can just make the best player in baseball even better, that'll be great.
Mike Trout?
Oof.
Anyway, all right, guys.
Wow.
We will see y'all in 2 weeks.
What a great way to spend 2.5 hours.
Yeah, right? We'll see y'all in 2 weeks when next time you see us, we'll be doing the Disney theme park food bracket.
Yummy.
Yum.
That sounds tasty.
It does. All right, guys. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.